Hey, again, take two.
Yeah, we live this time. I'm getting bad about the live button.
We'll figure it out. We'll get our crap together.
Hey, we got a good excuse though. It's Monday.
I had a lady that worked with me in the pharmaceutical industry. She said we need to get our feces amalgamated. That's the clean version of saying get our shit together.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's link in here.
So feeling excessively crappy like I've been feeling for the last little bit, but you know, it is what it is. Well, hey Daniel, hey Mike. Yeah, I'm feeling fair to partly cloudy. I got some rest today, but I need to get some more. I slept from about 1:30, 2 o'clock to about 6:30.
I wish I could. I need it.
And still feel just run down. So tried to go out there to the bees earlier in the day, did a little bit of a live stream this morning, and just trying to get stuff done before it gets 90, 95 degrees outside, right?
Yeah, we hit 92 here today.
I pulled a lot of entrance reducers off because I found there a lot of bees were starting to cluster. And, you know, I was thinking about that, you know, actually Earl and I were talking about this earlier with how they're doing, what's his name? That was just on the stream team. I'm subscribed to his channel, but I can't think of his name right now.
Brian, Bruce.
No, not on the stream team. The guy that was there as a guest this week, and you know,
Randall Carter.
Randall, he put out a video, and you know how he has the boxes like the super slid back to let ventilation in them, and he says it works good for them. And I was thinking about that too. So it was kind of like with them, if you got them stacked all the way up straight, I would imagine it's pretty hard for them to get that air from the way up at the top all the way out, you know, to move that air. I'm sure they can do it.
Yeah.
But
I tried the Guardian entrances, the little small round red ones,
right,
putting them on there, but they didn't use them as far as flying in and out. It had a couple of guards there, but I think it did allow a little draft to move through.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I wonder if actually, you know, a lot of my boxes I've got feeder shims on that have vents in them that allows them to circulate the air through there pretty well. So I'm wondering if that, I mean, not all my colonies have that on it. So I wonder if that's something that I need to just go ahead and do, or if, or here's an idea. When they get the super full, just pull the bitch off and put a new super on. I mean, that's another option, right? Yeah. But I don't know how that affects their honey production at that point when you're taking the super out. You know, if that really affects, I don't know if there's a bee psychology, but if it messes with them at all when they say, oh, we had a drawn box and now that's gone, you know.
Sound like a good experiment.
Yeah, but
the one and not the one next to it.
You know, other than the peppermint experiment, my experiments have failed this year. So it's been fail.
If first you don't succeed, try again.
I know. I'm just worried. You know, I actually thought I was going to have a. So far, you know, I've got colonies that are really blowing it up, and then I've got colonies that are just kind of like, bleh. Yeah. So. And the funny thing is, a lot of the colonies that are blowing up are not my older colonies because the ones that I thought were going to do good this year are not the ones doing good this year. And it's my fault, right? Because
you're doing better.
Yeah. the nukes are doing pretty good. The nukes that I overwintered, they're doing pretty good. But those nukes that I just bought, they're doing, they're doing better than some of my older colonies.
Yeah.
Of course, now with that being said, we all know, if you've been following the channel, that I took splits really early, which kind of set them back in their growth process. So that's my fault, right? That's not the bee's fault. That's my fault. So
That's the problem I'm finding. Most of my newer nukes, they're doing better than some of my overwintered hives, because when I was working all the hours, my hive swarmed on me.
Right.
I couldn't get to them, so it knocked them way behind.
And because of the way the bees multiply, right? If you've got a small cluster, she only lays a small amount of brood, and then that hatches and she's got more bees, so she lays a bigger cluster and a bigger cluster. So and I also have another debate that we talked about today. I've got some nukes that I have in 10 frames, and then I have some nukes that I put in 5 frames. And people say that the 5 frames build up quicker. But do they? Or is it the fact that they look, it might be an optical illusion. It might be that they look fuller because they're in a smaller box.
About to say it could be partial, like you say, optical illusion, but at the same time, they have a smaller area to have to keep everything warm. Just like when the queen's only laying a small brood area, just enough bees to cover that. If they're trying to cover a whole box and they're not very high in population, it's going to take them longer.
So yeah, there's a couple things I've been pondering in the meaning of life, I guess, in the meaning of the bee's life. And then I've got that out yard that the lady wants me to bring colonies over there, and I really want to. And then I saw a post on Facebook, because I don't know if everybody's heard me talk about the strawberry fields that are nearby me. These are really close. They would definitely get to the strawberry patch. However, I saw somebody post yesterday on Facebook that they wish they had a pesticide-free variety, like that they didn't use it. And if they're using pesticides, I'm not moving my bees anywhere close to them. So it's like, so now I may not have that out yard just because of that. And I was kind of thinking that was going to be maybe a nuke yard, right, where I could make splits, carry them over there, set it, or use this as a nuke yard and take some bigger colonies over there, just so I had a location that's a few miles away.
Yeah. You could use it for reorientation.
Right. So I wouldn't, if I make a split and move it, I don't have the bees flying back to their original location, right? They get to keep the bees. So
yeah,
that was kind of the thought process there. But again, not if it's going to be, and not if it's going to hit the pesticides in the strawberry field. But again, and this was in a chestnut orchard, which, talking to Earl says, and the internet as well, says that Chinese chestnut trees make really crappy honey. So I don't, so that was another reason why that could be a nuke yard. Then their honey is only going to be in their box, right?
Sounds kind of like the almond fields making the bad honey.
Yeah, it's like a bitter honey. So,
like my yards I got right now, my 2 closest ones, I've got about probably 2.5 miles, maybe 3 at the most, by bird flight to the north of me, and then 2.5 miles to the south. Now my new yard, it takes me about 20 minutes to get there.
Well, the good thing about the 2.5 miles, by the time you've got a nice little queen triangle going on right there then.
Yeah.
So
and then the other apiary up the road from me, they're about 7 miles away, 6-7 miles, something like that. They have a small yard, probably less than a mile from me by bird flight. It probably about 3/4 of a mile.
Right.
And I mean, they got the same bee. That's where I've got my bees from. So, I mean, yeah, they got plenty to forage around here, but I guess you'd say crossbreed rather than inbreeding.
Right. Well, I mean, especially if you've got diversity in your yard, right? You've got some nukes that you've bought from different places, or some queens from different places. So should do good. And for some reason, the what you call it, the that queen that I did the live on that lived through the whatever they were. It looked like they were balling her, but she lived. But that bee, for some reason, the bee population is just dropping in that colony. I don't know why. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Houston, Larimore, Mike, Randy. Yeah, I'm missing some people over here, and I'm terrible. I'm terrible reading comments, not because I can't read, but because I never wear my glasses.
So like I went to my number 2 yard. I think that was yesterday that I went over there and done everything. Anyway, I made a walkaway split a while back. Well, when I pulled up yesterday, the hive that I done the split on, it looked like all kind of orientation flights in front of it. It looked like, I mean, decent population. I opened it up. They looked pretty good in there. They wasn't quite ready for a super, but I mean, it looked like a good population. I scanned through real fast. I wasn't wasting no extra time trying to find the queen, but if I found her, I was going to mark her.
Right.
Didn't find her, but I got to kind of paying attention. I wasn't seeing no eggs in there, but there was a higher population than when I did the walkaway split 4 weeks ago or whatever it was.
Right.
I'm trying to figure that out, where the population's coming from if there's no queen in there laying.
Are they, I mean, is it just old bees and foragers now?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's more population than what I started with. So, I mean, some of the older ones should have died out by now. And then, I mean, they'd been replaced by new brood, but there was no capped brood in there, no eggs.
Right.
It's just got me thrown off. I don't know where the population come from if I can't find eggs or brood.
Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link, guys, if anybody wants to come in and chill with us tonight. Let's see. And so I've got so yeah, I'm just doing a few things. I mean, just basically trying to stay alive, first thing. Bob, depending on where you are, humidity, strawberries are sometimes treated more with fungicides, which can screw them up too. Worse when it's combined with insecticide. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. And the lady that wants me to bring them out there, see, she's got 18 and a half acres that are close to the strawberry fields. And then she's got another 256 acres out in the country that her and her husband wanted me to bring bees onto. But the thing is that the 256 acres is like entirely wooded. So there's not really a clearing that I could set them. And then I got to worry about the hive beetles, access to get in there, you know, and stuff like that. So that's kind of the where I'm at on that. And but I'm sure I'll work something out to get that. I was just hoping to have a spare yard I could just focus on doing nukes and stuff in one yard.
Well, my new number 4 yard, I'm putting some production colonies there, or growing production colonies, but I can also use it as a nuke yard because they have 20 acres. And the owners told me I could have one complete side of the driveway, which was probably better than a quarter of a mile long almost. And they told me I can put as many hives as I want down through there.
Hey, Bobbies. I saw your last video. Good video, brother. And I don't know if you saw my live this morning, probably not, but yeah, I hate to say I don't want to send those queens in the mail, but they've been caged for over a week now in the bank. And since I didn't breed those queens, I didn't want to, you know, I purchased those queens, right, at a discount because I bought so many of them. And I didn't want to send them in the mail and have them die. Then I've lost my investment on them, and you don't have a queen still yet. But if you want those queens, you can order them directly from Cutic, Kutik, online, and they'll mail it directly to your house, brother. And because from what I saw, the shipping would have been about $27 to $30 to mail those, and that's, you know, I guess that's pretty quick for mailing through the post office. But I just didn't want to. I didn't want you to get a box of dead bees, right? Hey, there's Michael, brother Mike. What's going on, brother?
Oh, I can't stay on here, but I heard you guys talking about ventilating hives, so I ran out to my shop and grabbed a couple things. This is they call it the Vivaldi board. Let's see, it's got the screen on either side.
Right. It's just a vented shim, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But what you do is you take your inner cover. You guys all use wood inner covers, and you just put your 8-inch hardware cloth over it, hold it down with a couple of thumbtacks, and then put this thing over it, and you get a good cross vent from either side. Okay. So that was one thing. And then something I'm doing this year, just because I had a robbing issue because of our drought last year, I've gone with this bee escape here. I don't know if that's going to show up with the holes. Oh, there we go.
I see him now. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, sorry about that. And just so that I can leave the bottom board fully open. So that's all I had to add there, guys.
Well, what I have done in the past is I'll go to the top, and it doesn't really matter, but I've drilled holes, like 3/4-inch holes, like 2 of them on a deep on both sides, and then I just put screen or hardware cloth over those as ventilation holes in the boxes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do to my feeder shims.
Oh, well, I did that on my feeder shims, but I also did it directly on some boxes. It worked out. I mean, I haven't had here. I don't have to worry that much about moisture getting into them, and if it's too much air, they're just going to propolize them closed.
Yeah. So that's I think that's why going to the I did the same doggone thing with the trough top man lake feeder, and I found that putting 1/8-inch hardware cloth in there, they weren't propolized that up.
Oh, they wouldn't?
Yeah, so that's how I got around that, because otherwise I was using fine screen because I didn't want ants getting in there.
Right.
And then something else I do to all my hives, it's just idiosyncrasy in mine. I've got the metal disc spinners on the front.
Right.
And you can dial those out so that
vents.
Bees can't get through them, but you still get some venting.
Yeah.
And the reason I use the metal ones is that my bees will propolize up. Bless you, Bob.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No. And when I go to try and loosen the plastic ones, I've broken a few of them. So that's just me. But I use a hammer and a flat blade screwdriver. I don't mess around.
Yes.
Well, you were talking about using the Vivaldi board with the inner covers. Any of my older hives that have the telescopic cover, I have inner covers in them. But all my new hives, I'm going to the migratory cover, and I'm not using the inner
here,
cover.
Lee. Yeah, I saw that in one of your videos here today. By the way, where do you get those caps from?
Better Be.
That was Better Be. Thank you. I forgot. You told us before.
Now, what's the benefit of using those caps as compared to drilling a hole and just using the mason jar cap in there? Is there a big difference? I mean, I've seen them.
You would have to have a bigger hole if you're using the mason jar caps versus a 2-inch hole.
But I've seen people take that cap out and use it as a plug, or you can use just a jar feeder on top as well.
Yeah. So Bob Binney does that, and my friend Troy, he prefers the plugs. But the reason that Bob does it is so that he can just put the jars up there with maybe just a couple holes to trickle feed.
Right.
And both of them will keep the water out if you drill the holes at the right size. So you're not, they're in there tight. The lids have got that edge to them, but the plugs, what little exposure I've had to those, if you pound them down good enough, you're not going to get the water drip in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I had one that I had a little bit of water in, just a couple drops, but I noticed my plug wasn't pushed all the way down.
Oh, thank you. And unless you're Ian Stepler and have a really pissed off, mischievous crow, you're okay.
Well, I put a little brick on, just a little small brick on.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Just to keep any raccoons or anything else trying to get up there and pop them out.
I don't know why the hell I've never seen anybody else do that. That's great, Lee.
If a raccoon can pry the lid off the top of mine with all that propolis they put on mine.
Well, see, that's why I'm going to the migratory covers. I noticed all my telescopic covers, they're propolized. And I mean, they do with the migratory too. But to get my hive tool up under that telescopic cover and try to pry up, it's prying them boards outward. So I noticed my two end boards, they're starting to flex out.
Right.
So do any of you guys use the Reflectix or what Ian Stepler calls the foamies for the inner covers?
Nah, I don't.
No, I don't. You talking about just that, like Cayman uses that flexible
the bubble wrap stuff?
wrap?
Yeah, I switched over to that, and the only reason I did is that if I want to look in the hive, I can just peel up a corner,
right?
And you don't have to get your hive tool in there for the propolis, and then they're not propolizing your lid, whatever it's telescoping or what have you. So that's just why I did it. But when it gets cold enough here where I just want to like peel up a corner or peel up half of it. So that's just me.
Yeah, mine. It's stupid because I've actually got some migratory. Well, I've got both, right? So I've got telescopic lids that I was going to use originally, and then I started going more to migratory, and I still have inner covers on some of them to give them that bee space on top in case I want to put a pollen patty down.
Yeah,
I don't have to try to smash the migratory cover on there.
I had that problem the other day with the peppermints. I couldn't get them to go all the way down, so I had to stick the peppermints between the frames.
Oh man,
I've got a bunch of little 1 inch or whatever it is feeder shims that go on them, but I didn't have none with me.
Yeah, some of the migratory lids they'll put in, what is it, like a 1/3 inch or 1/2 inch spacers underneath them, and I don't know how that works out as far as.
Well, that was my thing. I saw people say put coins on the corners to lift it up to give them some ventilation, but that might work up north. But I feel like if I do that and give the beetles any room they can get in.
I was wondering about that, Bob.
That was going to be an issue, or wax moss for that matter.
Okay.
And so I just figured I'll just leave it down. And if I've got to drill holes in the boxes and put screen over it and staple the screen down, then I'm going to be a stapling fool.
That's what you were talking about. Your feeder shims, you got the 3/4 inch holes in.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, it has the 3/4 on one end, but I'm going to drill one on the other end and then put the screen over it and use that for ventilation.
Man, that makes sense.
Oh, nice, James. $229 of honey today. That's awesome. I sold, what I find, and people are so nice. I like to have faith in humanity, but a lot of people will come up and buy a pint for $15, and I'll say, hey, let me run inside and get you a 5 for your 20. And they're like, don't worry about it. Just keep it. That happened to me twice this weekend.
That's good. Nice
and
deal.
These little jars are going to be my unsung hero for the weekend.
So, what are those?
So this is I think a 8 ounce jar, 4 ounce jar. They're 8 ounce jar.
Okay.
And I bought like 40 of them for like $30 something, right? But they crystallized. Well, sorry, it's over here today. They crystallized. So I had like maybe 8 of them, half a dozen of them, right? That I didn't put in my incubator. And I was giving them to people that were buying my honey. I'm like, hey, do me a favor. Just take this home. And tomorrow morning for breakfast, when you have your bagel or your toast, because it was Saturday, right? Or your biscuit or whatever, just butter that up and take a knife and just spread this on there like a jelly and tell me what you think. And I saw a post on Facebook. These people that want me to put the colonies out on their property, they said that was the best thing ever.
Well, it doesn't run on you then. And something, you brought up a really good point there. Part of it is educating our buyers.
Right. And taking this out there and them trying that, if I could just market this as like a honey jelly, because people assume that that honey that's solid is bad, is something wrong with it. I'm like, hey, just try it. And they get that hot bagel or hot biscuit or whatever, and it just melts on there, and best thing ever.
No, and Yeah. Okay. There you go, Silver Gorilla. Basically creamed honey to a point. Yeah, great idea. And by the way, almost all the honey I sell is in the 8 ounce or the 1 pound pint jars.
Oh, really?
It's rare that I sell the 2 pounders. The exception is that I'm ending up with. I ended up with a lot of requests for the ghost pepper honey to be in the little 4 ounce jars.
Right.
Otherwise, the only time I ever sell the 4 ounce jars is people up here literally get them for stocking stuffers around Christmas time.
Well, these jars I bought on Amazon. Let me pull up my orders so I can see how much I actually paid for. I don't like to lie to people.
Stinky feet, fruity pebbles.
Yeah, they're talking about dandelion honey.
I love it.
Man.
I don't know if I've ever tried just like a straight dandelion honey or seen it.
Wow, when did I buy this stuff? All right, so I got 40 of these. It says they're 7 ounces. 40 of these for $26.99.
Okay.
So what is that? $26.99 divided by 40. What does it say? $27 divided by 40 is 60. Might as well say 68 cents a piece, and it comes with the lids and everything. Let me see. I'll drop a link if you guys are interested in looking at them.
Hey,
I'm buying the cure jars here at a wood store, and I think I'm getting 12 of them. Well, that doesn't seem right for $9.
12 of
the 8 ounce cure canning jars.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, I get the 12 ounce. I've been buying those, not 12 ounce, the pints, Golden Harvest from Walmart. They were $9.45 a dozen.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I'm. Yeah, basically getting about the same thing. But as long as we're covering the price points. On a funny note, I went into town to get some. Our upscale grocery store here is supposed to have ghost peppers. They didn't, and I was asking people, "Do you see any hot sauce or one thing or another?" And they asked me, "Well, what are you going to do with it?" We're pretty friendly folk up here, and I told them, I was making a hot honey, and I had 3 families specifically ask me, "Well, do you have a business card? Can you sell some? Can we buy some from you?" And honestly, I think I'm going to get a T-shirt made that says, "I'm a beekeeper. I sell honey. Ask me."
Right.
It'd be stupid not to, right?
Yeah, just a walking around business card, right? And you could even have your number or contact information on the back, and they can just take a
I'll
picture.
definitely be getting the business cards. I mean, I couldn't believe
You could even print a QR code on your T-shirt that, on the pocket,
no.
so somebody could just scan it with their phone, and then they're going right to your website to order it.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's genius.
I've got some big things working, guys, that I haven't broke loose yet. But if you guys haven't followed Hard Luck Survival, I understand not everybody's into the prepping / survival thing, but man, he calls me and he's given me some insight that I might have an outlet to sell lots and lots of honey from local beekeepers at a reasonable price point. And when I say reasonable, $10 to $12 per pound.
Yeah.
And for most people, that's more than what Lee's been selling his for, and maybe a little bit less than some people are selling it for. But on an average, it's a good price point. And I mean, there's a bakery that I shipped honey to him. He's taken him some jars of honey to test, to use, and we might have a big bakery wanting to buy honey, local honey from people direct.
If you can be a middleman, you've talked about that before.
Yeah, but I don't want anything. I'm not making anything on it, right? I'm going to sell my honey. and I can't fill everybody's needs. And then after that, then other people, I'm going to need to source honey to sell it, right? And I'll just have you guys ship it directly to them. You know, that way you guys are making the money off of it instead of me.
A bumper sticker on your tailgate? Well, why the hell not? By the way, one of the people that were asking the grocery store if I had some of the honey, and I said, I think I have some in my car. And she looked at me like I was some predator trying to get her out to my car.
Yeah, let me just go get it. I'll bring it right back in.
Yeah.
But hey, Mike, a lot of chains have a local section that you just go to the store manager, and they I don't know what your state's rules are, but they will sell your honey in their local section if you can talk to the manager and get it approved through their chain. Obviously, you'd have to have a barcode, but typically,
unless it's a corporate thing, and then they have a whole bunch of hoops you have to jump through.
So typically, what I found here is they make about 20%. So if you're selling it for 10, they're going to sell it for 12, right? That's
Or if you're a markup,
if you're selling it for 10, they're going to want to pay you like 8. So just to give you the the idea behind it. Also, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to start making my own beard balm. For us bearded bee professionals.
Oh, do it.
And I think I'm kind of settled on the name Weird Beard. So, and probably a little tie-dye, and I think I'm going to use a little hemp oil in it,
So if you're in a pinch, you can smoke your beard. Everything's good.
Right.
And it's waterproof.
And it's waterproof. So it's going to have, have a few nice manly smells to it. Maybe some sandalwood, some driftwood type of smell.
Oh yeah, sandalwood is always a good thing there.
And so I'll give my first couple batches. I'll probably be sending out to like Lee with a beard and Jim with a beard and Hillbilly Beekeeping, and let them say, "Hey, I just got this. I'm gonna try it." And hey, I don't want any special treatment, guys. I want you guys to give the honest opinion of it, because that's how I can make my product better.
Yeah. That's what I did when I first started making my lip balm. I'd give it away to different people that I knew, worked with, and say, "Hey, let me know, is it too hard, too soft? What do I need to adjust?" And that's how I finally got my recipe the way I want it.
And let me
and your friends are always willing to let you experiment with them. So that's a grand thing.
So let me give you an update on the, this is the same wax melt tray from the initial wax, right?
Yeah.
Just to show you that how much it's shrunk. You see the top up here, the gap? So it does dry out, which allows it to pop right out.
Okay.
So I could render this again. I could melt it down again, and beard balm, baby, right there. So
I was thinking about getting a silicone tray.
The mold?
Yeah, some bakeries sell them, and I've seen guys mess with those things and they pop out instantly. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm in the process of putting together a solar max wax melter here. You and who was it?
Bruce's Bees.
Or whatever, you guys got me sold on that. I mean, if I'm just going to pull the trims off and do that, hell yeah.
And hey, I'm not going to lie to you. I had some old that had like wax moth trails through it. I just scraped it right in there, let it melt, and take the crap that's left over out. And
you'll have your slum gum thrown out to the side. So, I mean, it almost don't matter what you got in the wax. It's going to clean up.
Yeah, those paper towels, I just can't believe what they do.
Oh yeah, I use the blue shop towels, the one I used.
Oh, you do?
On mine. That's the one I use. Yeah, I just got to roll them and roll it out.
Well, that's interesting.
And that's what I had. I'm sure you could use something else, but that's the ones I used, because I had them in my truck when I was looking to do it. So that's what I grabbed. Yeah, those right there.
Oh yeah, thank you. The blue. Yeah, there you go.
I buy them by the big case.
So hey, what if I did lemongrass oil beard balm.
No.
It's a
No.
swarm commander beard balm.
You might be able to sell that in Jamaica. Don't do that here.
And a little tea tree. I could make it just like their feeding supplement, right? Like spearmint, tea tree, and lemongrass oil. Mix it up, and then you'll have nice, attractive bee beard.
Well, if you put some drawn comb at the bottom, you might be able to catch swarms on your face too.
I could name it slum gum. That could be the name of it. Slum.
One of your viewers here, I apologize because I just saw it run through. Said, "Why don't you call it bee beard?"
I think there's like the bearded beekeeper. I think he's got one out there
I
called like
would
bee
be
beard or something
surprised
like
if there
that.
isn't, but
So I'm and labels, I can put whatever label I want to on it. Sarah's already pulled 7 pounds of stinky honey that tastes like Fruity Pebbles. Hey, that's what matters. Most people don't smell it anyway.
I like goldenrod. It has that strong smell, but I prefer the taste of it.
Oh, it's like buckwheat. Speaking of buckwheat, I've heard guys talk about bringing buckwheat in, and your hive starts smelling like old socks.
Yeah,
and that's when they can tell that the buckwheat's coming in. But I love buckwheat and ragweed honey. Oh, dear Lord. It's a happy thing.
The buckwheat honey, they're saying, and I haven't looked at the goldenrod, but with buckwheat, they're saying that it's as medicinal as the Manuka honey, the expensive Manuka honey that they're
Boy,
selling.
That would be interesting. I'd like to see that comparison because what is it?
30
Southern Canada, they grow a lot of buckwheat there.
And it's you just Google buckwheat versus Manuka honey, and there you have a whole bunch of articles on it.
I'd love to see that. I've seen the Manuka done in the petri dish compared to other honeys. How it will knockoff bacteria trying to grow in there.
Right.
And if buckwheat does it too, whatever. It's just grand. That's it. Well, thanks for bringing that up.
And people, it's funny when they come and the honeys are different colors. Well, what's different about this honey? It came from a different plant. Well, what does that do to the honey? Tastes different, looks different, tastes different.
And then you're back to educating our buyers.
And, that's the main thing, is just letting them know that honey comes in all different shades and shapes, or not shapes, but it does in whatever jar you put it in. But
I found the lighter the honey, to me, the sweeter it always is. The darker, the more bold or stronger the flavor is going to be.
Now, what I also found is the darker honey seems to crystallize faster than the lighter honey does. Really? I gave my buddy a pint of my last year spring honey that it was almost water white, whatever they call it, the white clear.
Yeah.
And he said that thing still hasn't crystallized. And I've had other honey that was harvested after that crystallizes.
I've had just the opposite on mine. The lighter my honey, the faster it crystallizes.
Really?
I've got some of mine that's crystallized, some of the light honey I got up in my windowsill in the kitchen. They've all crystallized, but I got a jar of the dark honey from my local apiary up the road from last year. And you turn it, the bubble still floats through it back and forth. It's still
yeah, so the dark honey from summer before still isn't crystallized, but my dark honey from last summer has started to. And here's a little trick for all you guys. If you want to try and decrystallize your honey,
I keep it in my truck. I keep a case in my truck.
I was going to say, yeah.
Keep it in the cab of the truck.
Yeah, it's in the back of my Mercury. So that's funny. Like, what do you got all that honey in there for?
Well, someone else told me the reason to do that too is when you're out and someone finds out you sell honey and you're like, I got some out in the car if you're interested. Instant sale.
I think we're not to do that. So, really grand point.
Hell, I sold between queen bees and honey this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, about $500.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
So, I mean, it's really, I had a lady show up with her Whole Foods bag and bought $50 in honey yesterday. I sold 4 queens. That was $160. And I sold pretty much everything I had on my tailgate the other day. So,
did you really?
Yeah, it was the weekend
well, congratulations, Bob.
Well, again, it's about I don't work, guys, so I have between the little bit of money I make on YouTube, and when I say little bit of money, it's just now getting to where I can almost get a payment once a month from YouTube at $100. You know, so it's not like I'm making a killing. If you use the Amazon link from us, we make maybe 10%. Lee's killing it on that.
Hey, I got a whole $3.35 on it.
I've made $0 on that. I got that T-shirt that nobody has bought other than me. So, you know, I'm not making no money there. The Texas Beekeeper, Johnny Walker subscribed to my channel, and Rob Rhett Vet subscribed to my channel. So that's a little bit of extra coming in every month. So
that's nice. Say, Dry Cut had a question here about honeysuckle. So I have a lot of honeysuckles around my property here, and the honeysuckles that I have, the flowers are too long, and the bees can't get anything out of them.
They'll eat through the side.
No, yeah, they don't. It's really they just completely ignore them.
Oh, yours do?
Well, the honeysuckle plants that I have, they never do that. And I think the flowers are almost a 3/4 inch long and very, very narrow. So I'm guessing, gentlemen, it probably has more to do with what kind of honeysuckles you have. Mine don't touch them, but
the
drone advice.
the drone and the throne. So my T-shirt is called the Game of Drones, right? It looks like the Game of Thrones. Yeah, it looks like the Game of Thrones shirt, but it says it's like the same font. It says Game of Drones, and it's got the background from the Game of Thrones. It doesn't have the actual throne on it though.
That's pretty neat.
And I'll actually drop, since y'all are talking about it, it'll make me refresh and do all that stuff. Let me go to my stores. It's going to make me log back in. I'm not a robot. It's a print on demand thing, guys. So, Walker Bee Ranch. All right.
Why would you want a drone on a toilet? I don't know where that's coming from there, Casey, but it's funny.
It's a drone on a throne.
Oh. Okay.
But,
never mind.
Yeah. So it's just got a gold and silver logo. Matter of fact, I can grab it. Hold on one second.
That is pretty funny, though. Hey, Lee, how many hours are you going to put in this week?
Probably just 40 on my regular job, and then the bee work.
Okay, so you get a little bit of a break there.
Yeah, I'm back on 410s right now. Thank goodness.
Are you? Okay, that's always comfortable.
Let me slightly worn. Sorry.
I love it.
It's a Gildan brand T-shirt, so it's a nice strong shirt.
Yeah. So if you had a couple of drone bees on there, just
I actually made that. That was made a long time ago, and I just never put it out there.
The drone guy, Kim Floatin, would get an absolute kick out of that.
And parody T-shirt, so no copyright infringement.
There you go.
Gotta do that, But
so, Dry Cut, something. If you're wanting to put all that on there, plant all those honeysuckles. I'd be right there with you, but something. I've stopped doing that. Any of the plants that I put in right now, I specifically look for pollinator plants, ones that the bees can actually, get into and get something out of. That's just my idiosyncrasy, but I completely understand the honeysuckle. Oh, dear Lord, I've got it right in front of my window facing the lake here. So I'm out there, like looking at the lake, and there's honeysuckles wafting in, and
Josh, 36 boxes. Your problem's going to be shipping. So 36, if they're $20 a piece, is $720. So unless you go on Facebook Marketplace or something like that, or Craigslist, and find used boxes, unfortunately, that's kind of where you're at. And I don't even know if they offer. are they offering free shipping on their boxes right now? Does anybody know? I haven't ordered from Man Lake in a while because they're kind of expensive compared to my
If
local
you're going
guy.
to buy that much from Man Lake, they might send free shipping.
But see, they'll put on some of their stuff that not free shipping, not available.
Yeah, exactly.
On some of their stuff.
And I'm holding off on buying any equipment from Man Lake. I sure the hell won't order it. I'll get it from a local supplier if that's just like 30 minutes away here. But at last year when we had 30% of the boxes that weren't fitting right, and Cayman Reynolds noticed that Natalie the Bee Girl, Nathan did too.
They're selling out of date shit or stuff that's short dated. We'll say short dated, like my Apivar strips, right?
Yeah, I think what they did last year is they were pumping the wood through the kiln too fast, and so it wasn't working.
Well, if you're needing pollen patties, Man Lake's got 10 pounds of Ultra Bee patties for $28.95. They've got the Bee Pro patties for $25.95. So you can get, but 40 pounds is $100. You could buy 40 pounds of sub and probably make 100 pounds of damn patties if you wanted to make them yourself.
I'll say,
I just buy the dry stuff. I don't mess around. Charlie, how are you?
Hey, Josh,
your explanation of a single high brood chamber, and I'm still not certain exactly why you take the single chambers and then put them in the back of your pickup truck. Is that part of the migratory bee thing?
That's just what I'm diving right.
That one for you.
Hey, Josh, one more thing. You can also check South Florida Bee Supply. I don't know how their shipping is, but they sell boxes for about $15 a piece.
Yeah, and if you're lucky enough, another thing to keep an eye on is if you happen to know, some carpenters or whatnot around. I mean, Charlie and I are pretty lucky. We can get all the wood we want and put them together ourselves. But you might know somebody there that could, just tell them exactly what you want and ask if they build them for you.
Yeah, or if you got a local bee company, it might be just as good to go there and pick them up, and put them in the back of your car or truck and take them home and assemble them.
Yeah, that's a grand thing there. Where's what was that just popped up? Something about a good old boy at Man Lake. Oh, Silver Gorilla. Okay, so it's funny you should mention that because my friend has been buying commercial equipment before they even sold the. It used to be an employee-owned stuff, and they sold it. The employees made a lot of money. God bless them. But he still has his commercial contact there. And so she supplies all the equipment with him. So good old boy, yeah, to a point. If you're lucky enough to have the end with the company, then if I want to buy a bunch of stuff, I sure as hell have Troy order it for me. And, they'll do it bulk.
And let me see. We got, trying to see what they have on sale. I'm a bargain hunter. They got fume boards. They're $3 off. But they're charging $30 for a telescoping cover now. They got 5 inner covers, and listen to this. This doesn't even sound like a good deal to me. You get 5 10-frame telescoping covers and 5 inner covers for $160. That's 80. I mean, what is that? 160 divided by 5. That's like $30, right? So it's like they're giving you an inner cover with your telescoping lid.
Now, Better Bee was running like $23 or $24 for the telescoping lid. They're at $31.55 now.
And you have to pay for shipping.
Going up again. Yeah, and pay for shipping.
I believe it's Houston that does a lot of dumpster diving for the bees.
Yeah, that's what he put on there.
Yeah, it was for the boxes. I mean, finding old furniture by the side of the road and doing it. And I think I forget what that. I am so sorry. My diesel friend does that too. They're like, yeah, there's a dresser there. Throws it in the back of his truck and cuts it up and starts making boxes up. It's there. If you have a saw and a table and you can, figure that stuff out.
if prices keep going up, I'm just going to start buying filing cabinets where I can just slide the drawer out and hang the frames in like file folders.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's hilarious.
I bet you I should do that just as a demonstration to see if it'll work.
What is that called? That's the Slovenia hives that where they do that? They go behind the hives. They're in buildings,
right?
And they literally just open up the thing and start pulling the frames out sideways. It's kind of fun to watch. Richard Knoll was at a place down in Hawaii where they were doing that.
But it'd probably get very hot in a metal filing cabinet. Melt all the wax to be running out of the bottom.
What is this? I got hives made from a grandfather clock. Bobby.
If it's not on film, we don't believe it. You got to put it on YouTube.
Funny thing is, I believe it, but my smirk is, what keeps you awake at night? The buzzing of the bees in the clock or the ticking?
Right.
I would like to see that one.
Yeah, that one. That's a viral video right there in the making, Bobby.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, the cassette? Okay, yeah. So, Charlie, what have you been up to today?
Oh, I took a hive down to a friend of mine's house for pollination and dropped. It was a nuke, actually. And, let's see. Took a nuke over to a friend of mine's house on the eastern shore of Maryland yesterday, I guess it was. And
you've been delivering bees.
Yeah. And I don't know, this past week I put 7 super boxes on the hives. For us, the locust trees are starting to bloom.
Oh, really?
Did you see what he just posted up there? Post that again. Man Lake had deep boxes on sale for $14.95, but you had to buy 100 of them minimum. So no offense, Man Lake, but most of us small beekeepers don't have $1,500 just to drop on bee boxes.
No,
we don't need 100 boxes.
Right.
But to everybody out there in your audience, if you have a bee club or something like that, go in and out together, folk. I mean,
yeah, you could, take $750 from one of your buddies, and you put $750 down, and then instead of 36, you got 50 boxes.
Yeah, so
and then it'd take you a day to manufacture them all, and then another couple days to paint them and let them dry.
Unless you're using the
Eco wood.
Eco wood, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Eco wood.
I'll stick to the local Amish hive builder. Mad, if you've got one there, do it.
Yeah, we don't.
By the way,
we have Mennonites down here a little bit.
See if they'll only smooth up the outsides of the things. Leave the insides raw. That's what we're doing with all our hive boxes that we're building here. So you get the more of a propolis envelope in there, and it's less. I don't know how the Amish would end up planing their wood. Yeah, he's your hero. Yeah, amen.
Yeah. If they're real Amish.
Good old fashioned elbow grease.
Elbow grease. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. I think it was Cayman that was getting some from him. I can't remember. You have to. What was it? You have to recut.
Yeah. I thought he said he stopped buying them from the Amish because he didn't like the way they were.
To get them to fit.
No, the comment he made the other night, he was saying that he just had a problem with them answering their phones when he called.
Yeah, that is exactly what we're talking about.
Because they had to go down to the post office and spin the thing.
Spin the wheel.
They don't do that anymore. They
got Charlie laughing because he probably remembers that phone. Huh?
No, I ain't that old.
Hey, my grandma still had one hanging on her wall. It didn't work like that, but I mean, it was redone.
Most Amish today have cell phones.
Oh, the Amish use green lumber, so it's not dried out. And then it shrinks.
Well, some do and some don't. I mean, they're smarter than that.
And I've got boxes now that seem like they're tighter width-wise than they were when I got them. It's just like they're just. I haven't bought any Amish ones. This is just my boxes in general. Seem like they're tighter than they were when I originally got them.
Oh man, that's that. So here's a funny one for you. You guys, all the hive boxes come with finger joints, and I think I mentioned this before, but Vincent's got a Porter cable joiner assembly, and he's doing all the high boxes in dovetail joints, so they even look really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure they look great, but
It's hilarious. Well, he was a fine cabinet maker, and he's like, okay.
Yeah, but
the first couple boxes I bought had the true dovetail joints. They were
Did they really?
Hoover
Where did you get them from?
Hoover hives.
Did you really?
Yep.
Well, the bad thing, the boxes, yes, those boxes that he's talking about that are cost him almost $800. That's not even the biggest expense. Wait till you got to put 360 frames in them. That's another $700. No, that's more than that, right? That's that's $1,000 right there. If you're getting the cheap ones, the cheapest ones you can buy.
You showed how you were doing that, and DC, they're kind of fun. The frame costs, all that kind of fun stuff.
The plastic frames I bought at $2.25 are now like $3 at Blakewood Bee Company. I went to buy some last week, and I was like, nah, good. And then I started looking at Acorn, their site, and the Acorn, like Charlie said, they are cheaper there, but then you have to pay for the shipping, right? So the shipping is it going to be, I don't know if it'll be 75 cents a frame by the time it's done, but the more you buy, the more you get on a discount, by the cases on the shipping. So
yeah, if you buy about
something kind of
6 cases.
Go ahead. Sorry.
If you buy 6 cases, you get like 50% off shipping, right?
Acorn, or I bought 6 cases, 3 of each, mediums and deeps.
And I've actually, hey guys, I actually started going through my stuff, and I found like a bunch of the Acorn wooden frames with Acorn foundation in them, and I dropped that in the middle of that demo-ray I did on Thursday, and I was kind of testing Lee's theory if they've been sitting in the warehouse too long. Well, they've been sitting in a box in my shed outside for 2 years, and I don't know how long the foundation was in there before that, right? And I put that one frame right in the middle of that top box on that demo-ray, the new demo-ray I just did. They started pulling it out right away. So
wonderful. So Mad Mort, you've got basically 2 kinds of joints. One is completely square. That's what pretty much everybody uses. Those are called finger joints. And the ones that, if you take a look in some fine old antique furniture, the drawers, you pull them out, the joints are a little bit wider at the end, like a dove's tail spreading out. That's why they call them dovetail.
Almost like a triangle.
Yeah, pretty much. And
it holds them tighter. It actually holds the boxes together as well.
I didn't realize that. And Vince is pounding these things together, and I thought he was going to throw screws in them, and he goes, no. He's a Type on 3. Say, I got a question for the Hoover hives. I was looking at those things a while ago, and I was on Amazon. I always read the 1-star reviews. God help you if you don't. And a common thing that I ran into was that they were talking about the frames and the Hoover hives at one point were not fitting in the other hives. And I don't know why or what they were or whatever. But have you guys ever run into that?
Nah, I've got 2 Hoover hives, and I've moved the frames around. I haven't had any problem with them.
Yeah, so maybe they just had got an off branch or something like that.
Lee buys his different than I do.
Okay.
Lee buys his hives as a tire like setup with the frames and everything in it when he buys it.
That can be doggone handy to do. What the heck is this? Cajun beekeeping? Cajun homestead? Who let that potato growing son of a gun on the channel? He pissed me off. He was showing all the harvesting of the potatoes, and I just kind of went, I'm just putting mine in the ground, dude. I do not need to be seeing that crap.
I've seen some of them now, instead of actually planting them in the ground, some of them may rough the top of the ground up, some may not. They'll lay the seed potato down and cover it with hay.
I've seen people just plant them in 5-gallon buckets too.
Cover it with what, Lee?
Hay. Just like take a hay bale and they cover them up with a thin layer of hay.
No kidding.
And they'll start growing back up through that. When it's harvest time, take your pitchfork, just flip your hay over.
Yeah.
Potatoes laid on top of the ground.
I don't think I can't grow much of anything here because of chickens and squirrels and raccoons and everything else. I'd have to spend $1,000 and stuff to keep the critters out of it, and it probably still wouldn't work.
Oh man. Well, in all fairness, occasion though, those potatoes look really nice.
And
Potatoes and hay. Okay, interesting. Thank you, Joshua.
Keeps you from having to till your ground, and then whenever they're ready to harvest, having to dig everything up or fold your ground over.
And Frank's doing that too. Interesting.
look at that. We got 44 people watching right now. Thank
I-
each and every one of you.
We're getting bigger,
Yeah, it's wonderful,
Look at that.
guys.
getting a bigger community.
I know, that's right.
And this
That's
ain't
you
even our regular night.
The funny thing is, the last Tuesday, the Jerry Springer episode actually gained me subs and gained more people watching the channel, which is
I still have no idea what that was about, but grand. Good for you.
yeah. Well, it's a long story, but to give you the gist of it, one YouTuber, several of the people that have come on our show, smaller YouTubers, he was doing review videos of their footage, basically telling them how dumb they were.
Oh, that always goes over good.
So, and these guys are my buddies,
Yeah.
and then did a live stream at the same time we were live, and then came in our chat saying, "Did you guys see our live stream?" Well, we had some people watching it and kind of got the gist of what was being said and that we were all clowns and this and that, right? So he decided he wanted to click the link and come in our live stream after we did after he did his live stream trashing us. So I went about 95% Navy veteran on him in the room. So it was not pretty. So I apologize to everybody that was watching because they didn't come here to watch that, right? They came to talk about beekeeping. But I did not apologize for what I said or how I said it to the person because I meant it.
Okay.
It
was
yeah, but anyway, so then he clipped it and put it on his channel, and I got the response I really thought I was going to get when I went over there. Well, that's because you brought it upon yourself, sir.
You stick your head in a hornet's nest and tell the hornets they're stupid,
and then come over to ask them what was going on. So, and Houston was on there, and if Houston gets mad and gets riled up, that you've offended somebody, and
oh my goodness,
and I'm just not about that. We like to keep it positive. We like to joke and have fun and talk about mead and bees and different products and all kinds of stuff, right? But that's not what we're about, guys. We're not about the negative
product here. Are any of you guys thinking about buying something that you haven't bought or never thought about in the next week or two?
Like what?
Beekeeping equipment, whatever.
Me, gosh, I've bought so much this year that I'm trying to get some honey so I can recoup what I've already spent. But no, I really we talked about the beard balm stuff, so I'm looking to do that, get into that a little bit, and that's
frame grabber. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So somebody in the audience would pop up there too.
I've got one. You know how many times I've used it?
I've tried mine one time. Whenever I bought my first little cheap Amazon smoker, it come with a frame grabber. I tried it one time. I'm like, I don't need it.
Yeah, and I used mine on 3 frames and looked at it and said, "Wow, well, that was fun." And I actually I gave it to somebody who bought a honey extractor from me. I said, "Here, I'll throw this in. Let you figure out it doesn't work."
Well, it's funny though because I love my viewers, but if I use a frame grabber, if I don't use a suit and I get stung, they say something about, well, you should be wearing a suit. And then if I'm wearing a suit and get stung, well, then it's like the other way around. Well, why are you scared of your bees? A real beekeeper doesn't wear gloves. Well, what do you want? What do you want? You use smoke? Don't use smoke? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Silver Grill is right. Talk to 100 beekeepers. They all do things different. No need to call folk out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
unless
If you ask 5 beekeepers a question, you're going to get 10 different answers.
In a 3-hour live stream.
Hey, Dave.
In a 3-hour live stream on it.
No, that's a good one. Yeah, that's the one I got there. Thank you.
Well, I will say this though. We talked about this. Lee said when he gets to what's your next level, you're going to do a giveaway on 500 subs.
500.
He's giving away a Guardian bee jacket, and I said when I get to 2,000, I'll give away one of those solar wax melters. So I've got a ways to go. I mean, I'm at 1815 or something like that now. So just a couple hundred to get there, and then I'm gonna do a giveaway for the solar wax melter, the same one I got, the Lyson one.
So somebody brought up that the only thing they're looking at buying was labels.
Labels?
Yeah, and that's something I encourage everybody to do. Take a look at that. And if you have any type of folk that are around that are artistic that might want to just take a chance at drawing a label for your custom. Bob, are you autistic? I forgot.
I'm autistic. No, just kidding. Well, I mean, the last live stream we did, what, Saturday night? Sunday night? Saturday. Saturday.
Was it Saturday or Thursday?
Whatever. The last time we went live, we did I did a little how to design a label on Avery section on that near the beginning.
Oh, did you really?
And it's really simple, guys. You just take your time, and once you get it printed up, I buy these labels and print it on my printer because I'm not a big timer. If I was doing thousands of labels, then this may not. I mean, they end up costing me 14 cents a piece plus the ink. So there's always that. But
yeah.
But for me, doing 100 at a time, you get 80 in a pack. You know, they're 14 cents a piece. $11 for 80 of them.
Hey, believe it or not, that was all the way back Thursday when we done that live.
Really? We went that long? Thursday?
Yeah,
I see why y'all were complaining at me about not going live last night then. Y'all were jonesing. I can see y'all shaking in the corner, slapping your arm, needing an injection of live beekeeping chat.
I do the same thing, Sarah. As soon as I light my smoker, I smoke my arms and my neck down, and then I work.
Do you guys really do that? That's interesting. Yep. Okay.
I
know one little trick when you're trying to feed, when you're trying to put syrup in buckets, if you're using those things, or anything that you're putting syrup into, if you blow some smoke in there right before you fill it, it kind of keeps the bees from going in there and drowning a bit. But Charlie, you're looking way too relaxed there, dude.
Oh, I don't know.
The last time he was on there that he was dozing off back there.
Well, that's what I thought for a second there.
Last time I was tired.
If he's dozing off, we'll just bring him up big screen.
Okay, there we go.
And then Silver Gorilla says he'll make 200 channels and sub on mine.
Oh, I love it. 12-ounce water bottle, 1 teaspoon of lemongrass, 1 teaspoon of Swarm Commander, and a teaspoon of Honeybee Healthy. For what?
That's the spray.
He
sprays it on himself before he goes out there. And the thought process is that if you smell like the bee, they're less likely to sting you.
Yeah, but I watched the video of Earl. He got stung. He was saying, all right now, don't get down.
Oh, man. And by the way, Lee, you're talking about giving away a Guardian bee suit?
Yep.
Make sure it's an extra long, tall with Velcro on the pockets.
Yeah.
So if Guardian's watching this, that's the improvements. You need a longer one, and you need Velcro for your lower pockets, and then you got it. It's victorious, flawless victory, as they say in Mortal Kombat.
Well, I got a new Guardian suit, and the complaints that I have with it is I got the fencing veil, it's got the zipper for the face of it. It needs one of them pull rings on that thing.
Oh, it doesn't?
It doesn't have the ring on the zipper thing.
And I understand why they wouldn't do that. It's just one more thing to catch on, but I like rings.
Yeah, mine's got regular zippers on it too.
Talk about the little ring right there?
No, he's talking about the one that goes around the veil.
Ring up on that veil there, Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
All you gotta do is go to dollar store or office,
Buy a little
Home Depot,
keychain
and
ring.
put a keychain ring put on it.
But
Yeah, no.
it's just like today, I had a couple bees get in my veil. I'm like, how are you getting in here?
I had one today.
I
left
sat
it
there and I
unzipped.
looked at it. I knew that zipper system is a certain way, and I finally figured out it's zipper to the right and then zipper to the left, and then it tucks into the thing, and then it seems it'll fasten real tight.
Hey, DC, send me a link to that suit you got.
For the most part, that's
for
all I
today's
use is just
curves,
a
yeah,
veil
I'll
over my
look.
head. Now, if they're a little more aggressive or something, yeah, I'll put my jacket on.
Okay.
Or if I know
So,
it's bad weather, cloudy, overcast, stuff like that, and I got to go out there and do something, I'll put my jacket on.
yeah, DC.
Yeah, that's what I've been
jacket.
putting up with all this week. The last 2 weekends, rain.
A little ornery.
I got my honey warming cabinet, Charlie.
Oh yeah.
Yep, it's called a chicken egg incubator. And
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you were talking about. Okay.
Yep, I just put the jars in there and
Forest beekeeping homes, they will
they
have
heat it
set.
up with the label I printed on Avery. So-
It looks really, really nice. I like
So-
that, but I also like Lee's clear one, so I'm really kind of torn between them.
Well, once you get it set up, I think it's
Thank you,
it's
Lee.
a good thing because I think the setup, they charge you the one-time setup fee for the art, right? Even if you make it yourself and send it over.
They charge, don't quote me, I think it's $50 setup fee for because they're going to have to convert it from your file type into their system. But after it's on file, then you just pay for the label and print.
And so the start
Is that a company you're going with through Lee? You mean?
Better be.
Better be.
Oh, that's right. They have the setup costs. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I've been getting mine from Man Lake with a stock label, and what gets me is they want as much the printed there and stuff as they do the labels. Like, come on, guys.
Hey, DC, are those suits you're talking about there, the Forest, are they made in the United States? That's one of the reasons actually I went with Guardian. But by the way, I had I forget what the heck the thing was. It wasn't a vented suit, jacket. And man, when I got that doggone Guardian, I do not get nearly as hot as you guys are. So I kowtow to all three of you and everybody else in the audience here too. But when I got that thing, I was so bloody happy.
Yeah, but the Forest one's not ventilated. It's not. Oh, they do have a ventilated one. I'm sorry. I was looking at the whole jumpsuit. It's reasonable.
Hey, Jim, in our StreamYard, we can see the comments from both channels coming over.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Forest beekeeping supply. Oh, here's another thing. Don't buy pellets. If you're using pellets for your smoker, don't buy them things on Man Lake and that. Don't do that.
Go to your barbecue joint.
Don't even do that. You can go down to Tractor Supply and buy the wood pellet bedding for like 50 pounds for like 50 pounds for like $5 or something. It's stupid.
That's just bloody genius.
And let me see, Tractor Supply. Yeah, there it is.
Well, and what was that last thing you put up early about it being too short? Well, I tell you, I do know this. You can call Guarding up, and they will custom make you a suit.
Oh, I lied, guys. It's 40 pounds of pelletized wood bedding, pine wood, for $6.49 at Tractor Supply.
How the heck can you go wrong with that? Charlie, that's just common sense. I didn't even thought about calling them up.
Well, down at the show at Hive Life, they had they were talking about it. Some guy was a real big, tall guy, and he wanted pants, and they made long-legged pants for this guy, so he fit.
What did Casey, the hillbilly, say? I keep telling you all,
Bob is brilliant.
Brilliant.
Oh, I can't take credit for that. That was actually my mentor's. He's like, I use these pellets. I saw them on Man Lake. I said, He said, "Oh, don't buy them at Man Lake. You can go get 40 pounds of them for like $6 and some change at Tractor Supply." So, and
why not?
2 years ago, I bought 40 pounds. I probably still got 39 pounds because I don't like my smoker that much. But some of you guys that are diehard smokerists, yeah, see, I mean, it's cheap. And then they just subdivide them, right? They buy it for $6 and sell it to you for $10 a pound or something stupid, and take all that money.
I hadn't heard that one right there.
Top rack of a dishwasher. I guess it would work. I mean, I think I don't know how hot a dishwasher water gets. I guess you could put it on the sterilize feature or something. I don't know.
Or you could put it in and just run it through dry mode. Soft pine needles, free for smoker. Rake them up and Frank's. I've tried that. You would not believe the pine trees we have here. This is the last stand of old growth white pine tree, and I've never had happy luck with that. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I don't know. You probably got.
Well, pine needles burn so quick, though. You just got to kind of.
Yeah, after you get them smolder and you stuff them down into that smoker as tight as you can get it, they'll burn for a long time. That's mainly what I use.
What kind of pine trees do you have?
I don't know if it's the loblolly pine or just the standard short needle pine.
I don't know what ours are.
Okay, yeah. See, I've got white pine here, and they're about 4-inch needles, and they're very, very skinny, so they go up.
Yeah, ours light really quick, and they burn really quick too.
See, like mine, I'll put a handful of pine needles in the bottom of my smoker, light it with my torch, get it flamed up, and then I just go to stuffing on top of that. And I mean, one smoker will last a good hour.
Pine cones. I think I've tried that, throwing pine cones in there too. I forget. But Charlie and I got something kind of interesting going on because we both have sawdust coming out of our yin yang. And Charlie, have you ever done that?
No, I never really tried sawdust.
I mean, we've both got so much sawdust, we don't even know what the heck to do with it.
I've tried the sawdust. I just found that it's a little bit hotter than burning the needles.
Okay.
It gets a hotter smoke coming out of it.
Interesting.
Because I mean, really, I got planers too. I could actually just go up in the blower shed and grab some shavings up there and see.
Well, actually, I'm sorry, Charlie. That's what I was actually thinking. The planer shavings.
Look at James selling queens in our chat. Good for you, brother. Hopefully you can sell them. I've got 11 banked outside. If someone wants to come and get some, I got them right here. I'm just not going to bail them.
I've used sawdust too. Frank's, that's a hoot, man. I love that one. Longest smoker contest. I suppose that'd make a great contest. That's pretty cool.
I got
guardian gloves that mesh on the one side.
Well, I was told when I ordered my Guardian to order it one size bigger than I would normally wear. So I ordered a 2X because I wear 1X t-shirts, 1X everything else, and it's just too short. It's just too short for me when I bend over it.
So I've never had any luck with grass clippings, but
I'll use leaves every now and then. One yard I go to, they don't have no pine straw around, so I'll just pick up some leaves on the ground, stuff them in as tight as I can get them.
Do you smoke it?
Said, when you think you got the smoker full, keep stuffing more, and it will burn slow and long.
I've used cow manure in a pinch. I don't want to know how you're pinching cow manure, Silver.
Let's see. Did you? Well, do you guys? Like? I know Lee lights his smoker every video. I see it. Charlie, do you use a lot of smoke? That's me.
Well, I got at a point where I would light the smoker and I couldn't keep it lit.
Okay.
And I got where I'd be in the hive and just kind of like focusing on the hive all the time. And I realized that I wasn't using any smoke at all. I take my finger and you go over there at the end of the frame and just kind of push the bees out of the way. Now I got a J-hook hive tool and hook it and bring it up. And most, this is what always kind of is kind of, how about J-hook or whatever hook like that to pick the hive or the frame up. But all these guys, well, we got to go over here and we got to smoke the front of the hive. And I'm like, why? Why
Let
do
them,
you smoke?
let them know you're coming.
You don't want to let them know you're coming.
And something people don't talk about is that it depends on what time of day it is too. Because if you go in there, it depends on what your flow is, right? But if you go in there and all the foragers are out, they're the ornery ones. But if you're there when the foragers are there, it's a rainy day. They're all there, and they just kind of, then they really kind of f with you. But
or if it's getting dark, I mean, like Sunday, I was out there. I got back from delivering, and I was in my hives going through them, the single brood chamber thing. And there's a lot of bees in the air and stuff, but it was a bright sunny day. And then here comes a storm. I get about 3/4 of the way through the row of hives. It gets dark and everybody's home. And then they really got this cloud of bees around your veil and everything else. And then, they're like, what are you doing in here? The storm's coming. Get out of my house.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, and I could, you're smoking the air just to kind of calm the ones that are all hundreds of them into the air.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, all right, it's time to quit. So I just, put the whole hive stack back up together.
I usually find you go the middle of the day, to me, is the best time because most of your foragers are out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get out there, if it's on the weekend or whatever, middle of the day, 11 o'clock when the nice sun's out, and like you say, a third of the hive is gone, and you can go in there, and all you got is nurse bees. And another thing is,
there you go.
Yeah, I got one of them things, and the biggest thing is like you talk about smoking. If you want to find the queen, you don't want to smoke that hive at all, because you will drive her down in that hive.
Right. So one of the more brilliant tips that I learned many years ago was from Kim Floten, where he said, you don't just pop the lid and throw smoke in there. Crack the lid open a little bit, give 3 or 4 puffs, close the lid, and wait 45 seconds for the smoke to distribute. And, then you're masking it to a point. And by the way, when bees get really irritated, their alarm pheromone that they have, it's a form of acetate. Now, I'm sorry, but if the guy next to me is blowing acetate out of his butt, I'm going to get pretty irritated too. So that's a chemistry joke. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I try not to, unless I'm filming a video, I try to be in and out of the colony. I don't try to go in there and hang out and, totally dissect. I'm kind of like, okay, there's eggs. She's in there. Let's close it back,
Yeah.
And get on to the next one. So I try not to do it, but if I'm filming a video, then you want to be more diligent in showing people what you're doing. So yeah, I'm in there longer, and other than the few puffs in the beginning, then it's really just sitting in the background as fodder, just smoking off to the side, right?
Yeah, and then there's one other thing about smokers that's Charlie was just talking about in his last video about the single brood chamber. Sometimes they get hives that are so just bloody strong that when you open them up, they literally spill out. And using a smoker to actually kind of corral them, drive them in one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're putting it back and you don't want to definitely don't want to smash bees, then that's where you take that smoke and you drive them back down in the hive, and then you can put your boxes on. But when I open a hive up, I don't do any smoke. I just take the lid off, pop the inner cover off, and if right away you can tell. If that hive's got a queen in there, they're very calm, and they just kind of just hang there, on the top of the frames.
Right.
And you're like, okay.
Exactly, DC.
Or if you smoke them, then they get that high-pitched buzz. Get them all excited. And to me, unless you're pushing them down to put the boxes back, or they might have, they might be excited about something, and they're up in the air or whatever.
Yeah.
Then I use it. But other than that, I very minimal smoke.
Hey, Josh, wait till the first time you leave it out there and light your grass on fire or something.
Oh, no. No.
I've just got the habit. Usually, I'll puff at least a little smoke in the hive before I really open it up. I'll crack it, put some smoke in, close it, and then by the time I set my smoker down, turn back around, then I'll open it up.
But I again, that goes back to how you were taught and how you started doing it, right?
Yep.
So if someone that you were learning beekeeping from was just smoking the crap out of them, well, then you probably smoked the crap out of them because that's how you were shown.
Right,
you know?
right.
Well, and another thing is how big's the hive? I went to one guy. I took him in. He took him a nuke, and well, here's the smoke. For what? It's a nuke. And he had one nuke there. It was only 5 frames. I said it's just a small hive. There might have a few bees, around, but I didn't use any smoke at all.
Right.
I mean, I use it sparingly. It's. I mean, if they're rambunctious and they're up in the air, I don't know anymore. I suit up completely with gloves, and you just kind of get used to them being around your head and whatever, and all that stuff. So.
Yeah,
right.
and something that none of us have touched on, it really depends upon the temperament of the queen.
Right.
We had a carnelian hive on the side of the hill here, and I used to have kids come out over this area. The bees, they're dangerous or whatever. I said, no, watch this. And I'd tell them to stand behind me, and I'd take the lid off, take the inner cover off, and some of the bees would go out, and they literally go in a holding. And I tell them this was going to happen. They'd go in a holding pattern, about 10, 15 feet up. And then the minute that I close that thing up, they'd all line up and go in the entrance. That's how gentle those things were. So that's Dirt Rooster says to smoke them till their eyes water.
Yeah, it's smoke them till their eyes water, or they're going to make your eyes water.
Yeah, that's a Grateful Dead joke there.
I don't know. My bees. They talk. A lot of folks talk about gentle bees or whatever, and I don't know. When you're around there's always that smart bee that always wants to come and buzz around your head all the time.
Oh yeah,
looking to sting you. I don't care. I was out there doing that single hive brood chamber thing on the back of my pickup truck, and I wasn't even near. I was 30 feet from the hives, and all I did was drive by them with a truck and parked it out there in the hayfield, and to do that video. And here comes. I was on a roll when I was talking on that and making sure I had all the different points, and then it's like, I'm not bothering you, and here comes me around my head, wanting to do something. And it's like, leave me alone. And I had to cut the video there. Of course, it's a choice few words. So,
just be like me, just let it go. If you hear a son of a bitch right in the middle of my video, it means I got stung,
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of hit my face, trying to grab him. Anyway.
Yeah, that's always
thing done. But that last video, I'll have to say, is one of my most popular videos.
Oh, good.
That's good.
Good. Wait a sec. Which one is that?
It's the part 2 of the single brood chamber.
Yeah, I just caught that. That's
basically the mechanics of it.
Yes.
Why it works and how it works. And the only problem, I was trying to shoot some video this week. It's like trying. That's my biggest problem here lately, is trying to get something done, and you only have this little window because here comes some more rain or whatever.
Yeah.
And I got in there and I was shooting video, and I had this one hive that before I wasn't going to shoot video. Then I said, I get in there and there's the queen. Okay, I see her. I put her off to the side next to the wall. But then when I wanted to show her to the people on the video, it's like you couldn't find her nowhere. I don't know whether she was probably down on the bottom of the hive stand or something like that. But I've got some different film shots, but not what I to make a nice flowing video. I like my videos to be very flowing and professional looking, like I guess you would call it.
Yeah. See, that's the difference between you and me. I don't care. I'm just putting them. I'll put a video out.
And I try to keep all my videos around 10 to 12 minutes long. And
well, that's a good length because it used to be, I don't know if it still is this way, but it used to be a video had, once you get to monetization, they wouldn't even let you monetize it unless it was 10 minutes long. So
Okay.
not that you're going to make a ton of money with monetization. I don't. I'm lucky. Once in a while, I'll get a super chat. Once in a while, I'll get a sticker. I got a couple people subbed, a couple things like that. But, $100 is $100, every so often.
Every penny adds up.
Mm-hmm. As Lee says, that's $3 I didn't have yesterday.
Yep.
So,
my subjects are mostly, it's not beginner, it's more or less intermediate to advanced type stuff.
There you go.
Well, I've got the, I've got to make splits. I don't want to make splits, but I've got to make splits. So I don't know if, and I've got to make splits because I've got these queens that I don't want to perish. Obviously the colony's taking care of them, but I don't know how long.
Are you banking them?
I've got 11 queens banked. They've been in there just over a week now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be taking them any, too far along.
Yeah, and one frame splits. They'll take a long time to build up, but it's just like, I don't know. I would have to make 11 one frame splits.
I've had some issues with queens, and the only thing I could think of is I went ahead and marked them. Took all the effort to go through the different hives to mark them, so I could find them real quick. And now it looks like either they're requeening, the hives are requeening themselves, or what. And the queens are a year old, or last year's queens.
Well, most all of mine are this year queens. I've got a few that are still like that one Demeray that's still from last year, but most of them are this year queens because I went ahead, and that was the thing with the whole Beekenomics video that I did was, yes, I'm buying queens, and I bought 75 queens from Cutic, right? And that's not including the 10 that I bought for myself early in the year. That's 75 that I've been selling to people and, stuff like that. But
let me DC and his bees, not for beginners. No, what I'm saying is the subjects that I film are not at the beginner level most of the time. I let everybody else do those things, like how to install a nuke or how to do basic stuff. There's plenty of other folks out there to do that. I try to have subjects like this here, single hive brood chamber management. To me, that's a really
well, that's one reason why I did the Demeray, because there's not that many people that do Demarays,
Right
so
now in Westchester they do, which I belong to, and I asked him about that, and that was something that was like, they were taking the larvae and eggs out of the bottom and putting it up on top and having a super or two in the middle.
Yep.
And they're having queen. And the one lady, she was new, and we got queen cells started. I'm like, aren't you doing that a little bit backwards? The idea behind that is take the brood chambers that are capped, put that on the brood chamber that's on top of the stack. That way, it gives the queen
room to lay in the bottom.
Room to lay. It's the same thing as I'm saying as far as single brood chamber management. I'm just taking those frames and putting them in another weak hive, or if let's say I have one that's got a queen cell on it, I'll harvest that queen cell by taking the whole frame and taking that and make a split. Or if let's say if you have some nukes that are just getting started and need a boost, put a frame or two of cat brood in there and give them those extra bees. And if you can't, like lately for some reason I couldn't find some of my queens to make sure that I'm not transferring them. And I said, okay, well, I'll just shake the bees off and put them in some other hives that have got bees.
Well, that's the thing is, supposedly, with the Demarest, it's supposed to help keep them from swarming when their brood box is getting packed out, right?
Yeah.
So you move it to the top, and they immediately recognize the queen's not there anymore because she's so far away from them that they start drawing out emergency cells. Now, what I did on my first Demarest was I was robbing all those out to make splits, right? So it didn't work effectively the first time, like you were
The
saying.
thing that I saw with your Demarest is you didn't have the population to begin with.
No, the video you saw, that is correct. However, you saw it after I already had run it one time and pulled all the brood and queens out of it.
Oh, is that what was going on?
Yeah, the first time. So that's why there's not that much bees in those boxes. The one that I did this last time, I'm not stealing the brood from it. The 9 frames of cap brood that's in the top. I'm just crushing the queen cells so they all hatch out.
Guys, I got to give a shout out to a new guest here. It's a fellow Minnesota beekeeper, Russell Cooperman. I'm doing that wrong. Russell, where are you there? Yeah, Russell Koopman.
Russell Koopman.
Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by, Russell.
And Skull Vikings.
There we go. And the other thing I want to throw up here, you guys can look this up. This is so unusual. It's a German pipe smoker. And I put the name of it up. It's really, Inker. I thought maybe Lee could bring up a picture.
Fife.
Yeah, just so you can find a picture of that and throw it up. I think everybody would find that really interesting. They used to make them out of like old wood pipes with just a side vent on them. So these guys would be smoking their pipes. And it's a little bit like the Swiss mountain pipe that I actually have.
The curve.
Yeah. It's the most famous movie you'll ever see is the movie Frankenstein, because all the Germans are smoking in that. But if you guys want to look that up, it's really interesting.
And I can say, Guten Abend, meinen Damen und Herren. My mom's German. I lived in Germany for 4 years, so.
Of course. Yeah, look at that thing. It's just really. And watching them use it is pretty interesting.
Looks like an oxalic acid vaporizer.
I never thought about that before. It kind of does. I think I've got.
Of course, I wouldn't put OA in it.
Sometimes I get tired of pumping my smoker. I was wondering whether them power jobs work pretty good.
I saw Black Mountain Honey do one that's like a vaporizer, like Lee smokes the vape. And you hit the bellows, and it actually vapes a cloud in there.
Oh, no kidding!
Yep. Yeah, I've subbed to a couple German beekeepers too, so I'm trying to learn German beekeeping lingo.
Yeah, here we go. This one is actually my parents brought this back from me from Bavaria. It's oh, come on, focus in there. There it is.
It's a bowl, a German bowl.
It is, and I kid you not. If you look at the first 2 Frankenstein movies, this is the identical, and this thing is it's been around there for I don't know how long. So it's just kind of fun. It's a little side note there, but that smoking thing is just, I don't know. The first time I saw them do that, and the guys are actually sitting there smoking this because they have tobacco in there, right?
Right.
So they're doing their pipe, and they're like, oh, okay, I'll plug up a little hole and blow this stuff out. So just kind of funny, that's all.
That is pretty cool. It doubles as your smoker. Yeah, don't breathe in if you put OA in it.
Oh, jeez. Wait,
Okay, go, Rob.
You guys, I can't do an OA video because I don't wear a ventilator. I don't.
Oh man!
I go out there, I flip it around, shoot it out the front and through the front, and move on to the next colony and turn my head because we know that's effective.
Just watch the wind direction.
Yeah,
that's it. It always turns toward you, just like smoke follows you. So does OA.
Guys, about the infused honey. Russell Koopman is he's west of the Twin Cities, and he makes creamed honey there. And he said, you got to keep in mind it's Minnesota, but I think if I remember right, Russell, you were talking about that the honey that they prefer there, the creamed honey that you mix up, is blueberry. I'd love to try it. It's just a little.
I know a guy who uses cigar smoke to smoke his bees.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey Lee, while you're on here, why don't you pop up the giveaway list to make sure who's been entered and who hasn't? While we still have 40 people, and
we're only missing one.
One person didn't do both of them.
Yep, that was David E. Taylor.
All right, so everybody else followed the instructions this week. Great.
I'm not on that list, right?
I don't see you. No.
Don't put me on there.
Yeah, you have to go to both channels and leave comments and stuff. So
no, I have enough bee equipment, and I'd rather that your viewers had them there. I can send you some, Mike. So, wait, strawberry. Okay, Russell. I forgot. Are you in Wilmer, Minnesota? That's because I actually might drive out and see his apparatus there. I really want to try some of that blueberry, but strawberry honey.
Does he have a license creamer? That's the only one I've seen on the market.
Yeah, I think Russell just mixes the starter in with it and then just sets it aside. I think that's it. I don't want to speak for you there, Russell, but I think back to us. We have to pay for our stuff right here. We want to make money, right?
Right.
So the different sizes of the jars and everything else, and so on.
30 miles south
of Wilmer. Okay. Thanks a lot, Russell. Do it in 5-gallon pails where you just put the starter crystals in. How often do you stir it then, Russell? Or you just let it sit and let it run down? But back to what else can we sell to get, added, just cover our market and demands. And
ROI, right? Return on investment.
Thank you. Or enhanced. I forget what it is. But
I know there's a guy in our club. He took a 5-gallon bucket and took a paint stir and just stirred it, add the honey, and he added the crystals, like you said, the starter stuff, and then they pour it into jars, and then they put it in a refrigerator. I'm gonna say it kept it at 52 degrees or something like that.
I was just gonna say, yeah, our guy over here does it at 53 degrees. Yeah,
but they usually between 50 and 55.
Okay.
They usually it's like a wine cabinet or something like that they have that you can adjust it that close.
That's right. That's what Troy uses here. That's
and then it just sits there and it sets up after a while. And,
yeah.
Now, so what's the idea of the license stir? I know it doesn't stir for so long and then it stops and then it stirs and stops.
Okay.
I haven't seen it as a demo. That's kind of what I was wondering. Is I think it just one down does a slow stir.
But I never really I never sat down and I seen it running, but it's like okay,
right, okay. I think
really.
Yeah,
really
I think it just is a slow spin on the crystals and mixes it in.
The theory behind that, Charlie, is that if you stir it like every so many minutes, you get a smoother. The crystals aren't as big.
Okay.
And I think that's the thought behind that. That's the way Troy's explained it to me, anyways. But
I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends on the demand and that. It's just like combed honey. There's a lot of work behind combed honey.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to put it in a freezer for so long and kill all the.
I got people now. The more people like
in there, and then trying to find comb that get it out of the hive before it gets tracked over by the bee.
Yeah, it's clean comb, right? So
you want that white looking comb. It's all packaging perception.
So yeah, I've had more people wanting that, but I find out, I mean, I just don't want to cut the comb, because I'm having a struggle trying to get enough drawn comb out. It seems like it's kind of counterproductive at this point.
So that's why I'm going to do chunk honey this year. Put the, a little bit of this wax starter strip in a glass jar and just put it upside down over a hole in the inner cover there.
Let them do their work right in the jar.
Yeah, let them build it all up in there, and then you take it out, and then you fill up the void space with your regular honey. So that's what I'm going to be doing this year. I've seen more creamed honey than runny honey. Oh, I sell more.
Now, Russell, what are you selling creamed honey for by the pound? If it was a pound, I'm sure you got a number that you divide it out by, but is it more than $10 a pound?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He's got to be. I think Russell's doing that. So
50% more, so $15 a pound, or
yeah.
I mean, here.
And I do the same, Russell, with my ghost pepper honey. It's actually I get 60% more on that. Actually, it's a little bit more than that. And I think about $12 a pound for your regular Russell, or for your cream, because I'm selling a regular honey here for $12 a pound.
Well, that's a good idea too. Josh says he uses a shallow frame in a deep box and cuts the bottom off and gets 3 pieces of cut comb per frame.
Joshua,
that's a good idea.
See, there you go.
Unless it's drone comb.
Well, drone. I mean, yeah, but
that's right. You'd be up in the honey super, right? Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, it is a bigger cell either way, right? I mean, honey cells are typically bigger than worker cell too.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Russell.
Cream just
I got you there.
Okay. Well, you're too cheap. You need to go up on your price $1 on each side.
A bit more out in the country there, so I absolutely get that. Chunked ghost pepper honey, drop of pepper in it. Okay, DC. You got me there. I might have to do that.
Have you ever taken as a joke and taken like somebody's Carmex, you know, Carmex, the lip balm, and you could take those dried like crushed red peppers and put it in there, and that oil will extract all that capsaicin out. And when they won't even notice, right? Nobody looks down in the tube. They just put their finger in there and rub it on their lips, and they get straight crushed red pepper right on their lips. Oh, thanks, James. Appreciate that, buddy. I got a new member, James Noel.
Greetings, James. Where are you located there, buddy?
He's up north too, I think.
Who, James? Michigan.
How do I not know that? Every time he comes in, he says, "Hi from Michigan." Oh my God! See, it's got to be the sickness.
Yeah, it could be. I recall it too. That's funny.
Yeah. So I'm looking to try to diversify too. Because guys, if we're going into Beekenomics with honey, the container costs the same. That's a fixed cost, right? You're going to pay whatever you pay for your jars. Wherever you're getting it from, that's going to stay pretty much the same. So anything that you can do, even if it's okay, this jar is now, instead of crystallized honey, it's, you know, honey jelly or whatever you want to call it, because this is real fine crystal in there. It's not like real granulated. It's really smooth. Oops, sorry.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, I mean, could you get more for this just because it's different and you're marketing it a different way? You know, I mean, maybe not. Maybe you could. But hot honey, you said for your jars, it cost you like $7 in peppers, but you made way more than $7.
Yeah, so I was selling that for $20 a pound, folk. And yeah.
And the jar was the same, right? So the jar really wasn't an added expense. The only added expense, you got sweat equity in the work, and you've got the pepper cost.
Yeah, so the $7 in peppers that came out to actually I think it was a little bit more. It might have been $8. Anyways, I did a dozen 1 pound jars and a dozen half pound jars. And that's what that batch made for me. So somebody had a really interesting question. Somebody new just popped in there. Something about having if I have 4 hives and if I divide them, how many years? Yeah. How many?
Well, I can give you an exact example. All right. I came out of winter. my first year with 4 nucleus colonies. At the end of my first year, I had 12 single and double deeps. At the end of, I came out of my second, I had, out of this winter, I had 12 single, double, triples, all different levels, right? This year, right now, I've got 34 colonies. And after my first year, I didn't split aggressive because I lost so much my first year to the hive beetles for keeping them too weak that I was letting them get stronger before I split them.
Okay.
And Lee, he and I kind of basically mimicked each other up to this point. And how many colonies do you have now? 30?
31.
So we're right about the same still, right? So it's like, and so it's just a thing. So if you guys are, I noticed we got 40 on. If you guys have not, if you're not familiar with the giveaway we do on Tuesday nights, Tuesday night is our normal night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. We had Blythewood Bee Company on week before last, on like a Saturday night, Friday, Saturday night, whatever we did. And he offered up 5 prize packs. We've given the first prize pack away. We're doing 1 a week for the next month. We're giving 1 away tomorrow night. You got the picture and all?
I'm trying to pull it up now.
So
wrong screen.
It's a wood pulp swarm trap, a 2-ounce bottle of Swarm Commander, a 16-ounce bottle of Honey Be Gone, and I found out that they did put a 16-ounce bottle of the feeding supplement in as well, because we weren't sure on the size of that when they did it. So,
well, that's awfully generous, guys.
Yeah, I mean, and all I did was send over the winner the information, and they mailed it out to him. She said it's already gone, so whenever it gets there, it gets there.
Oh, that's convenient.
The first one is went to Georgia, so we'll see where the next one goes. And all you have to do is on Tuesday night's video. I think we kind of cut it off already for this week's entrant, but on Tuesday night's video, you go to the comment below the chat, not the live chat. You leave a comment, and you got a thumbs up on mine and on Kodiak Farms channels. Since we simulcast both of these, we want to make you go to both of them. I know it's a headache, but you know, it is what it is. It's free stuff, guys.
Yeah, I was about to say you got to work for the prize.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, be sub to both channels, leave a comment, and thumbs up.
So hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, today's Monday night. Tomorrow's the giveaway.
Yeah.
And but you know, it takes us time because we got to scroll through all the comments and we got to enter them on another sheet. And
now I got to transfer them to the wheel.
And then we got to transfer them to the wheel so we can do the spin.
Which, let's see.
Yeah, shipping is not free. And to give you an idea, it's better to call Blythewood Bee Company at this point. They're open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 till 1 on Saturday. It's better to call them because their website has been acting crazy on.
Oh, you mentioned that.
On the shipping. So,
yeah, they're switching over. So we need to be patient with them.
But they will definitely get it out to you, and they usually charge. If you guys were local, they only charge $2 to build the box for you. So if you buy a box that's built together, already put together, it's $19.50 instead of $17.50. It's $2 more. So for me, I'll pay $2 a box for me not having to stand in the heat and put them together. You know,
that might be something we got to work on there, Bob, on the bottom.
What, Rob?
Hey, Rob, you're swinging in here. It's
nice. I might have to do that. Wait, but I want to do it for this season's honey. This season's honey coming up. So maybe when I do my steam uncapper, new equipment extraction video, whatever, then we'll go to we'll do a giveaway, a honey giveaway. Or who knows? Charlie taking a bite of his food. Charlie's notorious for eating on the stream.
Hey, you can at least share with us.
I'm just, I'm coming in. I just got in,
Get you some popcorn, Charlie.
He does popcorn too. I've seen him do popcorn.
Yeah, I do popcorn.
Oh man.
I'll stick my finger down in the honey and take a scoop every now and again.
For crying out loud. I love it.
Yeah, DC, Lee and I both have steam uncappers. So it was that I was looking at that. God, I always forget the name of that white box that you put the frame down in and pull it out. And a lot of people were showing those on YouTube, and it was just like, no. And
so,
and they get clogged up too.
Oh, do they?
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you.
That's what I've heard.
What's the name of that thing? Do you know what the name of it is?
Oh, yeah. What the hell is that? It's made by who is that? The roller
the family capper or something like that.
Yeah. So Cayman Reynolds was doing a review on that. And he says the problem with that doggone thing is you end up with so many different flecks of the cappings that plugs your filter up right away.
Yeah, you don't get much. You don't get many cappings left over either if you use the wax. You don't get much
really
wax
good
left
point.
over.
Yeah.
So
that's why this year I started running the 9-frame supers. That way they build that comb out fatter, and then once I cut it off, I have more wax to be able to make my candles or lip balm with.
Now, Lee, do you have any problems where they're making wonky comb, bridge comb between the frames when you're trying to get them to build that out?
Well, whenever you're doing the 9-frame, you have to start with 10-frame first, have them build that out. Now, once you built out, then you go to 9.
I got a bunch of supers on there that I've got the wax built up out of 10-frame, and then I spaced it out with that there like plastic spacer like you had there, but some of them they'll get in there like here's a frame of wax and a frame of wax, but then they put a bridge comb in between them, Okay.
I've been getting that too. Like in the super, it's like just a little bridge for them to get from one frame to the other. I just break it.
I hadn't had the problem yet.
Hey, show that video of that steam uncapper because DC's confused with it, I think. No, the steam only heats the blades. It doesn't. You don't actually steam the. You're not actually steaming the cone. So this is the steam uncapper. This is how it works, guys. It's pretty simple. You just slide a frame across it. It cuts all the cappings off into the tank. You flip it over, and it gives it a nice, smooth cut capping. And then
that looks like a happy thing there, guys.
Well, Lee's actually got it already. This will be my first season using it.
If you don't have the thick comb on your frames, though, you are going to be doing a little bit of picking or rolling to catch the blank spaces. That's why I'm running 9. Yep. That's why I'm running 9-frame. That way they build a fatter comb out, and it'll go through that steam uncapper better.
I like fat combs, and I cannot lie, though other brothers may deny.
There's a beekeeper. His name is Jeff Willard, and he just messes around with stuff and does things by the numbers, and it's really interesting. But he decided he was going to do like a serrated turkey carving, the electric blade.
Yeah.
And I was shocked at how well that worked.
I was about to say it seemed like it'd probably do pretty good. Now, does he have any problem with the wax building up on it?
Not that I could tell. And I watched him go through several of them. It's what the heck is that? It's Jeff Willard.
Yeah, Simple Harmony Farms is the one that they're talking about. That's Slicer. So Simple Harmony Farms. Simple Harmony Farms uncapper. Let me search it. That thing is like
thank you. Yeah.
It's like $400.
Yeah, DC that steam uncapper was $435.
And I want to say that Simple Harmony Farms one is also like $400. I think I paid $35 more for the steam uncapper as compared to the roller one.
That's really interesting.
So the roller one, the thing that got me about it, or the Simple Harmony Farms uncapper, the thing that got me about it, it seemed everybody that I saw using it had to spend a lot of time
up and down a couple
up
times.
and
Couple
yeah.
times. Yep.
So that's why I went with the steam one. It might bite me in the ass. I might spend a lot of time using my pick, you know. I don't know. But I know using the knife last year left a bunch of jagged, raggedy comb for him to try to work on.
But like I said, as long as you're running 9-frame supers and you got that thick wax built out, you shouldn't have no problem at all with the steam uncapper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Lee. It's going to depend upon how much built-up comb you've got.
Yeah.
You know, that's the title of the video where that guy's using the turkey carver. So if anybody wants to look that up, but I was taken back by that. In fact, it kind of pissed me off. Because
I tried that too, and it didn't work worth a damn this last year. That's what I was trying to use on.
Well, thank you. And I got to really thinking about that. And I don't know if you guys ever seen the show America's Test Kitchen. They're going through all the different serrated blade things and whatnot. And I had to get a hold of Jeff and ask him, you know, just which one we're using, what serrated blade, because some of the blades, like you're talking about, Bob, they're so far apart, you end up with that ridiculous space in there, and I don't know, just poor engineering.
I ended up giving up on that and just using a bread knife, and it just was so ragged that, you know, it wasn't worth it. So let me see. So I'm looking at Simple Harmony Farms is $395 plus shipping.
Yeah,
so
$40 more, and you got the steam.
Yep. Well, I guess either way, you're using some kind of holding tank to uncap with that as well. So,
okay.
And like you said with the Harmony's Farm, I mean, it looked like a decent little product. I mean, it's going to uncap it, but you're not going to have as much wax to work with.
It looked like a good idea. Now, Nathan over at Duck River, he went and got one of those things. He's all enthused about it. If I remember right.
I think those guys were having them sent to them because everybody had them. Cayman had it. Duck River had it. Everybody had that thing, you know.
So what I'll be very interested to see if he actually uses that thing again this year.
Well, I know Cayman's not going to use it. Cayman told me point blank. He said he said Laurel had it on there for about 5 minutes. Was like, I hate this thing, and took it off.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it went back to the.
When you got that queen and capper, what do you expect? I mean,
that's
got an automatic capping machine.
Hey, what's the one he got? The Silver Queen.
Yeah, he's got the Silver Queen.
He said on the video the other night he's trying to limit himself to 10,000 pounds of honey this year. That's kind of where he wants to be, 10,000 pounds.
So, that's got to be a hard problem to have right there.
10,000 pounds of honey.
Yeah, try to limit yourself to 10,000. I wish.
Ain't that the truth?
I'll just tell him to make as much as he can, and I'll drive my truck up there and buy whatever he doesn't buy, you know, or he can donate it to me.
Where are you guys buying your licensed stuff? I think
Better Be.
Thank you. Out of New York.
Yeah, Better Be is the only place that carries it.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm the only person I've ever seen use that pneumatic valve. There was no other video on that air valve anywhere. And it could be because it sucks. I don't know. Maybe nobody buys it.
Honestly, Bob, I don't think it's worth the money.
Well, for $200 for the hand one or $400 for the air one, I went ahead and went with the air one. But Better Be says that's the exact valve they use for their honey that they make there.
Really?
Yeah. The only thing I find with that air valve is it would be worth the money if it was a metering valve where you can meter it, set it up where it's metered out that it'll do counters exactly. You know, you can get it right down within.
Well, that's $400. I mean, that valve is $400. The one I've got, right?
Versus the data and fill master that's metered for between $4,000 and $5,000.
Yeah, even the license one is like $3,000-$4,000. So it's
Bob, don't get me wrong. I think that thing is just neat as all get out. I really do.
If you get the tall license one, it's $5,000 for that filling table.
Say we've got somebody on here, Ray Medlin. He doesn't do any beekeeping, but he wants to go check it out. Ray, I'm going to give you the number one tip that you're going to get from any of us here. Be sure to get a mentor and work with them. Somebody's been doing it for like 7 years before you screw around with that.
Local too, local to you.
Yeah, local. Yeah, so they're close by. Don't all of a sudden buy 4 hives and jump into it. It ain't gonna work for you. So just my 2 cents there. I just wanted to throw that in there.
When you do find the mentor and then you do start getting into it, I recommend getting at least 2 hives to start with. That way you can compare the two and know if one's doing good or if it's something that's normal or something acting up.
Gives you the ability to rob from one and help the other.
If he's brand new, he should find his local bee club.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. Absolutely. And that might be the way you find your mentor.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, like in my club, we do try to supply people. I've already got a couple emails today wanting mentors, and but the bee club, you find out who's beekeeping in your area, and then if you have your club meetings, you can bounce. It's like what we're doing here, bouncing off ideas, how you do it, how this one does it. It might work for you, might not, type of thing.
As like me and Charlie, we both doing the single brood chamber. I mean, certain things we do are going to be the same, but the time of the year that we do it, it's going to be different.
Right.
He's up north, I'm down south.
Right, because you're going to start a couple months ahead of me at least.
Yeah. We started getting a little bit of red maple and everything in February and start bringing pollen in. Sometimes early February.
I'm not even thinking about beekeeping until about the end of March.
Yeah,
and that's just getting started. Maple's coming in, but it's like with Bob doing the Demery, the club up north that I belong to in Pennsylvania. They're big on that, and had a couple different guys explain it, or one guy in particular up there explain it, and it was just too much information at one time, but with Bob talking about it and how he was doing, I guess, plus the video, for me, if I can see it, then I understand it better.
Well, if you can learn from my sucking and let me kill my bees and you guys can learn and prosper, it's all good.
I ain't gonna lie, that's how I learned. I mean, I watched some YouTube videos, done a little bit of reading on this and that, and just kind of jumped in and started learning.
We got a first timer here.
We got a new one down here.
Hey, J and D.
How's it going?
All right,
going good. How are you?
Well, not too bad. This is the first time I ever even tried this, so we'll see how it goes.
Hey,
you got good. You got headphones.
Yeah.
Where are you out of?
I'm out of Michigan.
All right. Are you James Knoll?
You got it.
Okay.
Hey, Bob, he's from Michigan.
Yeah, I can't even believe I forgot it. Every time you come in, hi, from Michigan. What part of Michigan yet?
I'm up about mid-state.
Okay. I've worked at Michigan State for a little while.
Oh yeah.
Down in East Lansing.
Yeah, I went over there a few times.
So you're probably near the blueberries then.
Well, yeah. Now I'm kind of out in the sticks. Yeah, there's some farmland around me, but it's about 7-8 miles away. So I don't have a high poison problem.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
pesticides.
Yeah, same here, JD.
Yeah. I have very low pesticides here. Really good habitat for them, and summer and early spring foliage. So,
how many colonies you running now?
Right now I got 3, but I'm getting ready to split them. I'm going to go to 6. I got 3 queens coming here in about 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then I'm hopefully at the end of the honey flow, I'm going to take them up to 9 to go into winter. So I went into winter with 5 and I come out with 3 this time. So
it's a numbers game for sure.
Yeah, it's a gamble.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to keep so many extra nukes off to the side. So, replenish any that may not make it through our mild winter down here. So,
yeah. But I just wanted to show you that this is what I call my early spring summer honey.
It's very
neat.
light, very light.
real light colored.
Yeah.
And then my summer fall honey is
There you go.
way to go with it. Pretty darn dark.
Yep.
Now, how
Right.
much, what percentage of your surrounding area there is wooded or forest?
I'd say probably about 90%.
Okay, so that gets really interesting because I have the same thing here, and man, I get the dark honey
Yeah.
in the fall. It's absolutely great, gentlemen. I have to run here. JD, nice to meet you. Charlie, that was a great last video there, the single brood management, and Bob, that hat sucks.
What? You're not a Vikings fan?
Yeah, I was until they went woke, but and Lee, I tell you what, if you put your B veil back on, take your headphones off, and start singing "We Will Rock You," I'll be sending you a case of beer. Somebody else noticed that he looks a lot like Freddie.
Oh, I said it too.
I was trying to figure out where it come from because you were the third person.
Seriously?
Yeah, you were the third
Oh,
person
dear
that said
Lord.
that.
You were
Oh,
slow
man.
on that one, and
Okay.
really in his intro video. Watch.
Oh,
He'll go-
yeah.
He's
Yes.
gonna go refilm his whole intro video to not look like Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
be
if
so
I'm not
funny to hear
mistaken, I
that.
think it was Sarah was the first one that said something about that.
Yeah, Sarah, Russell, Tex, all you guys have a grand and happy and blessed and safe
Hey,
night.
I don't know if you remember when he came on. He said, I wasn't going to stay long. I just wanted to
I
show you
did.
a couple things."
The problem is that you guys are so bloody addicting. It's just ridiculous, and I don't know.
Well, I get hate emails if I don't go live, man.
Oh, I love it. Okay, guys. Well, God bless, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right.
All right,
See you
Mike.
later.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
I know Lee is overdue too, because Lee's at it's 11 or 10 o'clock his time. How long can you go?
10:30, I'll be good.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're not, well, you can fall asleep in the crane
Yeah, some days.
some days.
Lately, I ain't been able to. We've been busy.
So JD, that dark honey, what do you figure what's that coming from?
Oh, you tell me, and we'll all know.
Goldenrod.
Yeah, but what's your floral? So what's
We have a lot of hardwoods around here, but early spring, I'd say maple. But now they say it's a linwood tree that gives you a little bit of a mini flavor.
Yeah.
And my early spring honey has a slight mint after flavor.
Let me see if I can
So-
find you on the Bee Forge map here. You're about midway, you said?
Well, midway up in the state to the east side,
All
up
right.
above Bay City.
So when do you usually harvest your fall honey?
End of August, mid-September. And then I let the bees keep whatever they can get, plus the feed.
I'm gonna say
light.
I'm gonna take a gamble and say it's goldenrod, because from June until October they've got a goldenrod bloom over there, and NASA is saying that is a significant flow for them. Goldenrod or aster.
We get that, but we don't get the. For me, I don't even get a fall flow hardly. But I mean, it depends. If it rains a lot, yeah, there'll be more of a flow of clover and goldenrod. But if it depends on whether you're out in more of a area that's not populated, I guess.
So what is showing that they that runs late in the year for them is alfalfa, milkweed, clover, 3 or 4 different kinds of clover, vetch, hawthorn, sumac, raspberry.
It's
black
not a real
locust.
stinky dark honey either. It's not like 2 years ago. It was dark and boy, it smelled like dirty socks.
That's goldenrod.
That's goldenrod.
Yeah, this here don't stink like that, and to me, it's almost got like a peanut buttery flavor. It's weird. I like my lighter honey better. It's a lot sweeter, but it's starting to crystallize now. So,
and also they have mint that goes until October up there, from July to October, mint.
Good night, DC.
So, yeah, gold smells bad and the super tastes good. See, I like the lighter one myself. More of a lighter honey guy.
Yeah, it's like our locust is real light.
That's Renee. She prefers the light. I prefer the dark.
Yeah, that's like some people like what's it called?
The buckwheat.
Buckwheat. Oh, that's like mud.
Yeah, I like it.
It looks like burnt motor oil. I got a jar of buckwheat on my counter.
Yeah, that stuff. Forget that.
Yeah, mine's not that bad.
You guys were talking about woodenware. Was that what grade was that stuff, Lee? Do you know? Or select versus naughty versus commercial?
The Better Bee that I buy is the commercial.
There you go. There's some buckwheat honey.
Yeah.
Real dark.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't seeing through that one.
Stinks too.
So you get boxes with a lot of knots in it, Lee?
No, really, it ain't bad at all. It Better Bee. They have the budget, select, and commercial, and I go with commercial. Now the budget, yeah, you're gonna find some knots here and there in it, but commercial that I get, I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah. I just looked up here. The Amish guy, he wants, let's say you're going to buy 10 boxes. It's medium supers is $17, but then you got to add $4.50 on top of that, 17, 18, 19, about $22 or so per box if it's select.
Let's see.
So if you guys, I know most of you guys are familiar with the site, but I'm going to drop it down if you're curious about your own area here. It's a site that NASA puts out for foraging. It's honeybee.net. It's a long thing. .gsfc.nasa.gov/honeybees forage. So it's got all the different regions and what is in your area.
Yeah, I have to check that site out.
Yeah, Charlie, it Better Be for the medium assembled is $24. For the complete with frames and all, it's about $50.
Yeah, I just
Before shipping.
Yeah, before shipping.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'm one of the poor people. I go around and get wood wherever I can and build my own boxes.
Well, I used to just buy sheets of plywood my first year and was building because plywood was cheap, but plywood's not cheap anymore. So
no wood's cheap.
So for the 20, what is plywood running now? 3/4 plywood. Does anybody know? I know Charlie probably knows.
No, it's probably about $75 a sheet, isn't it? I'm not sure.
Let me see. Lowe's, big box store. Lowe's. And let's see. Plywood. Search. 3/4 white wood sanded plywood. $76.98 for a 4x8 piece. Plytanium, which is the cheaper stuff, right? Southern yellow pine sanded plywood is $41. So by the time I stand out in 100-degree heat, go down and get it, come back, and cut it in the sun, I might as well just go to Blythewood Bee Company and buy 5 boxes.
Yeah, we're looking about $72 a sheet here.
And if you use the expensive stuff, that Avantech that I haven't seen David from Barnyard Bees put any Avantech videos out lately. But that's probably that was the most expensive back then, right? He says that's more expensive, but you get it in the wear, right? So let's see.
Yeah, and I forget who was on some video that talked about Avantech. Oh, I know who it was. It was Greg from Nature's Image Farm. Darn stuff was falling apart, or it swelled and all that stuff. Wasn't what as good as everybody made out like it was.
So Advantech, I don't see 3/4 on here, but 23 30 seconds. Is that about 3/4?
Yeah, 52.
$52. And if you go, well, they have the actual Advantech brand is $87 a sheet. And it's tongue and groove, though. I don't know if it's.
I see the tongue and groove here is 69. That's OBS.
But still, I mean, if you're getting the severe weather for $35 or whatever, I mean, that's expensive, but you could cut a bunch more nuke boxes out of it unless you're just getting free wood. I mean, I just, for me, the time, more than the time, it's not the time. I like doing stuff like that, but it's the time / heat that's involved in it, you know?
It's just now getting warm enough to work in my garage.
Yeah. Well, it was over 90 plus here today. It's 80 degrees now at 11 o'clock at night.
We had like 91 or 92 today.
Yeah, they're saying for us Saturday it's going to be 90 degrees and humid.
Yeah, so I just, for me, it was just more economical to buy boxes, and I've got.
It is. I mean, if you count your time, and if you're trying to do finger joints, even though if you had a sled for your table saw and stuff, it's trying to get all those finger joints just perfect is near impossible.
I gave up on that idea. I just do the rabbit joint.
Yeah. That's and that's what I did on my first ones, and those boxes are still doing good. I mean, they're not falling apart, nothing like that on them. But it just was a time thing that when I started seeing, I could, you can make 4 or 5 nukes out of a sheet of plywood. So it's, it is a good thing. Some people enjoy it more than I do, probably. Plus, it's just me. So if I got a whole sheet of plywood, then I got to wait for him to cut it down, right? Yep. That's Ian Stepler quote: "Buy your equipment, build your bees."
That's the way I look at it.
Still got all my fingers.
Yeah. Well, Ian Stepler has 1,600 colonies and probably has a little bit more money than I've got to throw at stuff,
I don't know. I just found as far as putting them together, my time, the glue, the nails, everything else, it was easier for me to just buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about, even when you go to buy them, if they're $17 a piece, if they're only going to charge me $2 to put them together for me, I might as well just buy them built too, because buy 5 boxes is $10. But again, it just depends on, I'm not down on anybody. It's your bees, your money, your time, whatever you want to do is fine with me. Just for me, it wasn't what I want to do.
It helps keep me busy and keeps me moving because I'm disabled and I just sit around all day doing nothing, watching TV. So it's like, I got to do something.
Watching YouTube videos.
Watching our live streams all the time.
You got it now. Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing. And the funny thing is the person that was complaining about us not going live, I haven't seen him on here tonight.
Yeah, I haven't seen him either.
That was a good one.
But I've got a heart issue, so sometimes I just don't feel up to it. I just, need to relax a little bit.
So you said that you had your vein was 50%. Isn't that ready? Isn't that?
Yeah, one of my arteries is 50. Yeah, that was when I went last time, and they said they wouldn't stent it until it was at least 75%. So my complaint to the VA was, so let me get this right. I'll be out in my bee yard and drop dead of a heart attack because you're not coming in every month to get checked. Okay, we're at 74%. Next month we'll probably be at 75%, right? So it's going to be one of those things that is something's just going to happen, and then I'll end up going in, and then they'll be like, okay, we're going to go ahead and do it now, or something like that. Or I'll just drop dead, and you guys will see it live on YouTube probably. Be my only viral video.
Yeah, I know a friend of mine's wife, she had an aneurysm, and because the insurance company said it had to be a certain size before they would let the doctors operate.
Right.
That's what happened.
Well, that's the same thing, but you would think See, here's the funny part about the whole thing. When they've got the camera up in there, right, and they're looking around and they spot it, they're already in there. They already have the stents off to the side. They could have done it and took care of it right there, which is cheaper than them waiting until it's 75% or whatever, and I have to come back in and do the whole thing again. And then they've done the procedure twice.
Double.
Well, they're charging the taxpayer double,
Yeah.
So you go back in every month for the next year before it hits 75%. Well, that's 12 more visits.
Yeah.
Versus them just doing it that one time.
Well, in the VA, they don't check it like that. It's like they kind of, you come in and, oh, you got this problem, we'll check it now. You got this problem, we'll check it now, And if you're not complaining, like heart attack can be one of those things you're just fine today. And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes from now, you get up to get a drink and you drop dead in the floor, It can be just that quick.
That's what happened to my dad. We was working on my sister and brother-in-law's house. We was on the front porch just laughing and talking. We said, well, we need to get up and get some work done. And like that, he was having a heart attack.
I had a friend of mine was 40 years old, and he went out and did his morning run, and he had a habit of opening his car door to sit there and switch out of his running shoes, right? Take his sweaty running shoes off. And he sat down to take his shoes off, heart attack, dead. Right in the car. It's like, you just don't know, what's going to happen.
My brother-in-law, him and his uncle, aunt, and all them, they all used to get together and play boo-ray every weekend. Well, he went over there one weekend playing boo-ray, and they thought his aunt dropped something, and she leaned over like she was reaching for something on the floor, had her head on the table, and never raised back up.
And that's, let me see, they told me it had to be at least 75%. Yep, that's what they told me too. So it was a little bit greater than 50%, but so they give you medication, right? So I take medication every morning, but when I take my medication, it seems like I'm even more tired than when I don't take the medication. So we'll see. You guys will see it live if it happens, probably, because I'll be out in the hot bee yard with the GoPro going, and it just call 911 down here in South Carolina. Say, hey, I'm watching this YouTube video, and this guy just fell out in his bee yard. I think he's in South Carolina. Can you find him?
They say they find quite a few of us like that.
Oh, I'm sure they'll find us.
It's only us older, crazy people that want to do it.
Right. That's true.
So you figure, the majority of the time we're going to be out in a yard, especially if you got out yards, they're normally in a field. So,
right.
You kind of out there by yourself.
So make sure you stay hydrated, at least when you're out in the field, so you don't.
With electrolytes.
With electrolytes.
Last year, I drank water, nonstop for several days while I was out in the bee yards. And I still got overheated. I laid up in the bed for 2 weeks in the middle of the summer, multiple blankets on, flannel pajamas, and still curled up in little balls, shivering like I was cold.
Yeah, it's brutal. 90 degrees. You got the bee suit on, even if it's ventilated. You're still dripping sweat. My gloves are all drip through. It's pretty hot out there. So just be careful.
That's why I went to just the veil for the most part.
Well, I do too, but I get that one that likes to go up, fly up my sleeve, my short sleeve down here, and sting you in the armpit. Or
I smoke, like I said, whenever I light my smoker, I smoke my arms, and especially right there where that cuff opens up on the sleeve, I smoke that real hard.
I'm still too much of a chicken. I don't like to get stung.
Right. I don't like to get stung.
I don't like to get stung, but my arthritis likes it.
Now, the funny part was my first year, I very rarely put a suit on or a veil. I might have had the veil that had the underarm straps, and that was it.
Yeah. That one had little straps that go under your arm. I took that off.
And after that, I just got the Guardian and started wearing the Guardian, but I sweat like nobody's business in that thing too. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, I've got some lighter hoods in there, but I never really had mean colonies until this spring. I had a few that were just hot coming out of. It didn't matter if you smoked them, didn't smoke them, morning, day, afternoon, evening. They were just pissed. It didn't matter what you did to them. But
Yeah, Blaine, that Dr. Pepper, I'm trying to get off of it.
you're trying to break the Dr. Pepper habit?
Yeah, trying to get off all sugar, I guess you could say.
Well, we've been going 2.5 hours, Lee, and it's about your bedtime. So how about we go ahead and call it for tonight? Because we got
I got to go too, guys.
Yeah,
we
4
gotta-
o'clock come early.
we got to come back for tomorrow.
I really enjoy this chat way better actually than Cayman and that kind of stuff, where we all kind of get together. Anybody can come on.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Well, there's one person that's not allowed on anymore, but other than that, everybody's
Oh,
invited.
is that recorded? What you were talking about?
On my channel, Lee bitched out and cut it out of his.
Yeah, I cut it off. Cut it out of my side.
Well, you say this guy was talking about all these other guys putting videos out, and
Well, so to give you an
This guy
example,
a beekeeper, or what is he?
yeah. So what happens is, let's say you put up a video, Charlie,
Yeah.
and he disagrees with something on your video. He'll do a video like this and show your video and point out all the things that he doesn't agree with on your video on his channel. And he was doing that with a few people, and just always seemed like he had something negative to say, and I just had
enough.
I had enough of it on the stream the night before, so he decided he was going to do a video on his channel, and then he brought Earl in it and Houston in it, and he did one with Rich, Time is Honey, all people that we've had on this show that are regulars on this show that are good guys, right? That we talk to, and then after I had words on the live stream, then he decided he was going to put me on it too. So then he came on, and I lost my shit. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
And so it is what it is, but it's going to stay up. And most people, and the beauty of it is that it happened only the diehard people that watch the channel really saw it, because most people that are watching it after the fact ain't going to sit for 2 hours or 3 hours to see it at the end, so you'll have to fast forward if you want to see the drama. Yeah. And hey, believe it or not, I had twice as many views on that live stream. So it is what it is. We appreciate all of you, and we thank you for watching.
Definitely.
And
we wouldn't be here without y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, and I just think that I was always told you get further in life with sugar than you do with vinegar, right?
There you go.
So
Well, it's just like going to Hive Life and then through that, and I mean, really, because of
hey, thanks, Gray.
Of Brian being on your channel, that's how I got on this channel, and I met Brian at Hive Life and from Castle Hives, and now I got free, like Lee's down, and I got friends all over the United States.
Well, the thing that most people don't realize on this, even this little stream we do, we've had Ian Stepler, Dirt Rooster, Mr. Ed, JP the B-Man, Yappy the B-Man, Castle Hives. Who else? I know I'm missing somebody, and it's not
Nature's Image.
Me, Mr. Nobody.
And we had James from Michigan,
Bruce's Bees.
We have people from all over, and it doesn't matter. For my thing is, me personally, subscriber count doesn't denote your knowledge, right? Like my mentor's been doing this for years. He didn't have that many subs, but thanks to you guys in this channel, his channel's actually blowing up. He's getting videos that have like 1,000 views, and stuff like that. People going to subscribe to him, and we got William's been on here, Dry Cut, Texas Beekeeper. I mean, pretty much most everybody that's been in the chat has, definitely been invited to come on. They may not have stopped in yet, but eventually.
We have to get Sarah in here one of these days.
I like that comment. That's very correct, Sarah. Bees don't waste time explaining to flies why honey is better than poop.
That's a good one.
So yeah, that's that's the drama story. That's the Jerry Springer episode, and that's definitely. Hey, Rob Vet just dropped his channel for Hard Luck Survival. If you guys get a chance, please go over there and give a sub. They got like 11,000 subs over there, so sub, give a thumbs up. They're talking about survival things and food, and he's been helping me with the honey, getting the word out there. So definitely give him a little support.
Anybody you see on the screen here, give them a sub, a like. Anybody in the comments, check them out.
Yep. And maybe tomorrow night we'll do another raid. So if you guys find some beekeepers that have YouTube channels that don't have that many subs and they're putting out videos, just keep them in your head, because tomorrow we'll go do like we did last week.
Yeah, it was fun last week.
And we went around to some YouTube channels and dropped comments and subs to people. Gunline, we tripled him up, right? He had like 14 and he went to like 34 or something like that.
I think he started with 14 and went to 32 or 33 by the time we left.
Yeah, so I mean he over doubled, so that was good.
Well, that's like when I first got on here. I think you guys said it. I jumped 5 or 6 subs in that one night.
And every time you come on, I mean, people find you, and people are finding us, and it helps everybody out.
Yeah, and well, it's just like you say, Bob. I mean, we had a what do you call it, Zoom chat there that one time, and tell me how to do the YouTube end of it, and I've helped you guys out on the B side. Talking about coated queens and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So
that's made me some money. We bought the bottles. I bought queens from Cutic. I might be set up to sell some nukes from them last year.
I'm telling you, if you get yourself a thing out there where get some prepaid nuke sales, and you could sell 250 or 300 of them. If there's that big of a demand in your area, I'm sure you could.
Hey, Richard, South Carolina Happy Bees is my mentor, and he's about 2 miles away from me, brother. 2-3 miles. He's just out of Bee Flight area. So yeah, that's my mentor. So South Carolina Happy Bees is he puts out videos. He's consistent.
Puts out a couple a week.
Oh, sometimes he puts out as many as I do, a couple a day, here and there. It's just about putting out content and giving people something they like.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I got to go. I got to get up tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow night then.
All right, guys. Brother. We'll see y'all later. Thanks for stopping in, James.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to head off. You guys have a good one. Thanks for letting me on.
Oh, yeah. Come back anytime.
Yeah, anytime. Come on in.
You have a good one, guys.
All right.
Good night.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. So, again, another successful 2.5 hour live stream. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us like you always do and showing us support. Thanks for James to joining my member area because it helps me out. And I appreciate all you guys. And Lee, I appreciate you, man. We talk all the time.
Oh, yeah. Before and after the show and just about every day.
And now I've got to go listen to the latest Queen album.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. All right, brother. All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Everybody have a good night. Thank y'all.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.